Chapter 454. Let's chat. Little Sister Joe, let's chat. Shwe Wuji's eyes flickered. He did not believe that he could not get any useful information out of her. Okay. Brother Wuji, what should we talk about? Yun Chujio was in a good mood after winning the spirit stones. Little Sister Joe, how did you get to know Biming, that expressionless guy? That guy is famous for being very fussy. Why is it that he gets along well with you? Little Sister Joe, please satisfy my curiosity. Shwe Wuji pretended to be gossipy and asked. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Actually, it's a long story. I was tricked by Mayu to go into the demonic beast forest. Wait. Little Sister Joe, are you kidding me? How could someone lie to you? How's that possible? Shwe Wuji's face was full of disbelief. Sigh. Who hasn't met a few scumbags when they were young? I was also muddle-headed back then. Shwe Wuji almost spat out the tea in his mouth. Young. Back then? Come on, you're only 12 now, alright? Yun Chujio glared. Are you listening or not? Yes. Yes. I'm listening. Little Sister Joe, please continue. Shwe Wuji put down the teacup and decided not to drink for the time being. This smelly girl often said shocking things, so he did not want to choke himself. I was afraid that I would be tricked by scumbag into the demonic beast forest. After that scumbag took the spirit-gathering pills that I stole from my grandfather, he kicked me to the ground. My head hit a rock and I fainted. That scumbag did not care about me at all. He just left. The story after that was very simple. After the Prince Charming discovered me, he saved me. Then we fell in love at first sight. He likes me and I like him. It's that simple. Yun Chujio sneered in her heart. You black chicken airhead, you still want to trick me? Dream on. Shwe Wuji frowned. He remembered the first time he saw Yun Chujio's appearance. She looked so shabby. How could Biming fall in love with her at first sight? The stupid girl definitely did not tell the truth. He came up with a roundabout tactic and asked her about something else. Little Sister Joe, I heard that you were adopted by the Yun family? Haven't you thought about finding your biological parents? Shwe Wuji decided to start with family ties. Sigh. I don't even know if my adoptive parents are alive or otherwise, let alone my biological parents. I've never had the love of a parent since I was young. Perhaps I'm just an unfortunate person who doesn't have the fate of having parents. Yun Chujio revealed a desolate expression. It was not an act. In modern times, she was also an orphan abandoned by her parents. Shwe Wuji was delighted. This stinky girl had revealed her true feelings. He had to work harder. Little Sister Joe, don't be too sad. It'll help you look for clues. Besides, even if you don't have the fate of having parents, you still have me. I'll take good care of you. Shwe Wuji said affectionately. Thank you, Brother Wuji. Brother Wuji, last time you said your mother also passed away? How old were you when she passed away? Shwe Wuji's expression froze and his tone became low. My mother passed away when I was 5 years old. Brother Wuji, actually I can understand you the most. People like us seem to be laughing every day, but in fact only we know the bitterness in our hearts. Especially when we see other people have mothers, it's especially sad. And when it's your birthday, the first person you think of is your mother. Shwe Wuji's nose was a little sore. He stood up abruptly and said, I'll head back first. Yun Chujio looked at Shwe Wuji's flustered back and thought to herself, it seems that this Shwe Wuji isn't as bad as he seems to be. He still possesses some truth in him. Shadow Agent Hua Hua looked at his young master's red eyes and sighed in his heart. Young master, you still want to trick the little girl? I think it's already good enough that you're not tricked. Chapter 455. The young master learned to be humble. Shadow Agent Hua's nose was a little sore too. This little girl really knew how to stir up emotions. Her words made him feel very uncomfortable. These secret guards were all orphans without parents. Who would not miss their parents? After Shwe Wuji returned to his residence, he felt sad for a while. Only then did he realize that not only did he not get any information from her, he was even led by the nose by the little girl. What a troublesome little girl. However, what the little girl said really suited his feelings, and it was not that this little girl had no redeeming qualities. No wonder Biming liked her. The next day, Shwe Wuji still looked for Yun Chujio to get the information. Little Sister Joe, I lost my composure yesterday. I'm sorry. I heard that you couldn't cultivate in the beginning. How did you manage to cultivate in the end? Shue Wuji persevered and kept trying. I could cultivate after being struck by lightning. I have a thunder root spirit. Wuji knows that I have the thunder root spirit anyway, so there's no harm in telling him, she thought. Little Sister Joe, is there anything special about this thunder root spirit? Yes. I can't cultivate without the thunder element. That's why my spiritual power has been stagnant. Yun Chujo sighed and said, Brother Wuji, I actually admire you a lot. Yun Chujo said with starry eyes. Shue Wuji was stunned. What tricks was this stupid girl playing? What do you admire me for? Brother Wuji, as the young master of the blood demon sect, your family is so rich, but you didn't indulge yourself. Instead, you trained hard and worked hard. I heard from my Prince Charming that you are also an amazing person in the Tianyuan continent. You are truly admirable. Yun Chujo said with incomparable sincerity. Shue Wuji felt that every pore on his body was extremely comfortable. He wished that Yun Chujo could say a few more words. Little Sister Joe, you really flatter me. I'm just all right. Shadow Agent Hua Hua staggered. Oh my God, our young master actually learned to be humble. Isn't this too shocking? Brother Wuji, you're too humble. The blood demon sect sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? As the young master of the blood demon sect, you're not satisfied with the current situation and want to further develop the sect. Why isn't someone as ambitious as you admirable? Brother Wuji, you don't have to be humble. Yun Chujia's eyes sparkled. Her face was full of worship. Shue Wuji felt as if his entire body was floating. This feeling is really too fucking good. How come none of my subordinates are so good with words? Each and every one of them is stupid. The smelly girl's words are really pleasant to hear. Brother Wuji, what I admire more is that you're able to bend and stretch. In order to get information about Prince Charming from me, you're actually able to make yourself a disciple of the Spirit Radiance sect. You're really the role model for the second generation of the rich. No. I'm also. Shue Wuji was halfway through his sentence when he realized that he had been exposed. He had been tricked by the smelly girl again. Shadow Agent Hua Hua had no strength to ridicule him. Young master, you should be more careful. A few flattering words fooled you, and you've been directly tricked by the little girl. How are you going to get information from her in the future? Shue Wuji was stunned for a moment, and then said as if nothing had happened, Little Sister Joe is indeed smart and clever. No wonder Di Biming likes you. I'm also liking you more and more. Yun Chujo rolled her eyes. This black-headed chicken was really thick-skinned. Cough. It was almost as thick as hers. Chapter 456. Big Brother will treat you to a drink after Shue Wuji left. Yun Chujo first checked the little black bird in the spirit beast pouch, then sighed, I'm so bored. Little Black has been asleep for so long and still hasn't woken up. He looked like he had gained a lot of weight. I wonder if this skill has grown. I'm really bored. Master, why haven't you cultivated recently? Didn't you always refine the lightning power spat out by that strange grass? The rolling pin asked in confusion. If I don't refine the power of lightning, I won't be able to suppress the spiritual power in my body. If I refine it again, it'll have to rise several levels. Having a shaky foundation isn't good for future cultivation. Others are worried about cultivating slowly, but I'm worried about cultivating too fast. No one will ever understand the world of geniuses. The rolling pin was speechless. Master, you've already found out Shue Wuji's true purpose. He probably won't stay in the Spirit Radiance sect anymore, right? It's hard to say. Wuji's thoughts are always different from normal people. However, for each day that he stays, he'll earn 100,000 spirit stones. If he wants to stay, then stay. Yun Chujo said nonchalantly. As expected, although Shue Wuji had been found out by Yun Chujo, he still persisted in circling around Yun Chujo. After Feng Ming had been stung the last time, his body had not fully recovered. Yun Chujo could not keep disturbing him, so she could only make do with Shue Wuji to relieve her boredom. When she had nothing to do, she would play 5-piece chess and fight him. Yun Chujo felt that this black chicken head was not that bad. Shue Wuji also gradually felt that this wretched girl was not completely without any redeeming qualities. The two of them were having a lot of fun. And Feng, who was watching from the side, was a little worried for his lord. So he sent a voice transmission to Di Biming. My lord, if you still don't come, I think Miss Zhou will be kidnapped by Xue Wuji. That evening, Xue Wuji came to look for Yun Chuzhou again. Little sister Zhou, have you had dinner? If you haven't eaten, I'll treat you to a drink. Yun Chuzhou glanced at Xue Wuji and frowned slightly. Why is this chicken head a little different today? He seems a little sad. Brother Wuji, I haven't eaten. However, my Prince Charming doesn't allow me to drink. You can drink by yourself and I'll just eat some dishes. You follow that facial paralysis guy's orders. Xue Wuji set up a table full of dishes and wine. It was very sumptuous. Brother Wuji, it's rare for you to be so generous. TSK, you really move me. Yun Chuzhou said with a smile. Xue Wuji smiled. I have to pay you 100,000 spirit stones for this day. How can I be stingy? If you don't drink, then use tea as a substitute for wine. Drink a few cups with me. Yun Chuzhou was not pretentious. She poured a cup of tea and drank it with Xue Wuji. Xue Wuji did not need Yun Chuzhou to persuade him to drink. He drank one cup after another and gradually became a little drunk. Little sister Zhou, you're the first woman to celebrate my birthday with me. No, the second. My mother used to be with me. Aha, I really have a chicken brain. This brain is a little stupid. Yun Chuzhou originally wanted to mock Xue Wuji, but when she saw the red rims of Xue Wuji's eyes, she swallowed her words. Then she changed the topic. Brother Wuji, so today is your birthday. Why didn't you tell me earlier? If you had told me earlier, I would have prepared a birthday present for you no matter what. Birthday present? I've never received a birthday present in my entire life. You should prepare it now. I want a birthday present. Xue Wuji slammed the stone table and shouted in a tipsy manner. Yun Chuzhou wished she could slap herself in the face. She wanted to teach him a lesson. There was no need to mention a present. Where was she going to prepare a birthday present for him? Chapter 457. A birthday gift for Xue Wuji. Xue Wuji saw that Yun Chuzhou had not moved for a long time, so he slammed the table again. Little sister Zhou, are you lying to me? Where's the birthday present? You've made me so sad. You've been lying to me all this time. You've never told me the truth. Not only you but everyone else wouldn't tell me the truth. You're right. I'm the young master of the blood demon sect. People are either afraid of me or they will flatter me. Furthermore, their flattery isn't as good as yours. The moment you hear it, you'll know that it's a lie. Let me tell you, I've never been afraid of Di Biming. I'm just jealous of him. The only thing that makes him stronger than me is that he has a mother. And he saved her himself. But I couldn't save my mother. That's why I'm jealous of him. I want to be stronger than him. Yes. And you. I want to snatch you from his hands too. Xue Wuji was obviously drunk, and he spoke the truest and most secret words in his heart. Hua Hua, your young master has drunk too much. Hurry up and help him get back. Yun Chuzhou called out to Shadow Agent Hua Hua. Shadow Agent Hua Hua was dumbfounded. Their young master could hold his liquor very well. It was rare for him to get drunk. Why did he drink so much today? This time all the big truths have been revealed. Shadow Agent Hua Hua went to help Xue Wuji. But Xue Wuji flung his sleeves and said, Get lost. I still want to continue drinking with little sister Zhou. Little sister Zhou, take out your birthday present and let Hua Hua see it. I get to receive a birthday present, huh? Seeing that Xue Wuji would not stop until he received the present, Yun Chuzhou could only say, Brother Wuji, I didn't have the time to prepare. Let me sing you a birthday song. There's a birthday song? There's a birthday song? Sure. Sing it. I love listening to songs. Xue Wuji said with his drunken eyes. I wish you a happy birthday, I wish you a happy birthday, I wish you a happy birthday. Shadow Agent Hua Hua cursed in her heart. Little girl, are you sure you're not fooling our young master? Why is there only one line in this birthday song that's repeated over and over again? Xue Wuji, on the other hand, was dancing with joy. This song is good. I've always been unable to learn other songs. I know this song as soon as I hear it. Wish me a happy birthday, wish me a happy birthday, wish me a happy birthday. Sob, 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 I'm not happy. Mother. I miss you. Mother. Shwewuji burst into tears as he sang. In the end he simply sat on the ground and bawled. Yun Chujio was dumbfounded. If she had known earlier then she would not sing the birthday song for him. Who would have thought that he would break down immediately after singing it? She also felt bad that the chicken head was crying. Anyway, at least he saw his mother before. She had not even seen her mother in her previous life or this life. Not to mention her own mother. Even her foster mother had gone missing. Yun Chujio tried to persuade Shwewuji. Shwewuji finally got up from the ground and picked up the wine pot to continue drinking. Yun Chujio also felt terrible and started drinking as well. The two of them exchanged glasses and drank on and on. Soon Yun Chujio also drank too much. Stupid girl. Although you cheated me of my money and even scolded me, I don't hate you because you are real. Those who flatter me are all fucking fake. Only you are real. Black chicken head, you even locked me up and threatened me with a snake. How dare you hate me? I should hate you. I just cheated you of some money, right? Why are you so stingy? You don't get to bring it with you when you die anyway. Isn't it the same whether I spend it or if you spend it? Stupid girl, you're right. From now on what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Let's spend it together. Come. Let's have another drink. Shwewuji stood up and poured Yun Chujio some wine. He had drunk too much and was about to fall when Yun Chujio reached out to help him up. Not only did she not manage to help him up, she also fell to the ground. Coincidentally, the two of them fell together. Black thing. Shwewuji. What are you doing? D. Biming's eyes were red and he wanted to slap the two people on the ground to death. Chapter 458. I want to sell your portrait. Yun Chujio got up and glanced at D. Biming. What are you doing? Don't you have eyes? We're drinking. Gigolo, do you want to have a drink too? Shwewuji wanted to stand up, but he failed after trying a few times. He simply sat on the ground and pointed at D. Biming. Little sister Jio is right. You're a gigolo. Are you blind? We're drinking. And Feng and Shadow Agent Hua Hua felt that Yun Chujio and Shwewuji were courting death. D. Biming's face was so gloomy that it could scare people to death. Oh my god, D. Biming wouldn't kill our young master, right? D. Biming kicked Shwewuji, who was lying on the ground, away. Then he looked at Shadow Agent Hua Hua. Get lost. Watch your stupid master. If this happens again, I will kill him. Shadow Agent Hua Hua did not dare to say no. He ran out to find Shwewuji like a wisp of smoke. Oh god, D. Biming's kick was really hard. He did not know where his master was kicked to. D. Biming grabbed the back of Yun Chujio's clothes. Yun Chujio was like a bastard who was being dragged by someone. She kept waving her arms and legs. Gigolo, let go of me. I want to drink. I want to drink with the black chicken head. Yutsundra. If you don't let go of me, I won't forgive you. I'll strip you naked and draw your paintings. Take them out to exchange for spirit stones. As Yun Chujio said that, she took out a stack of drawings from her storage ring. Haha, take a look, take a look. Beautiful man drawing. Each drawing only costs 2,000 spirit stones. For 2,000 spirit stones, this isn't a loss. And you can't be fooled. D. Biming snatched the drawings from Yun Chujio's hand. Well, they were really his drawings. Although the key parts were covered by some items, it still made D. Biming furious. D. Biming put the paintings into his storage ring and carried the screaming Yun Chujio into the house. And Feng wiped the sweat off his forehead. Miss Jo, you're courting death. Our venerable one will definitely not let you off easily this time. You're too bold. Not only did you drink with Shwewuji, you even fell on each other. The worst part was that you called our venerable one a gigolo. You even wanted to sell our honorable one's paintings. You're really courting death. D. Biming threw Yun Chujio onto the bed. And with a wave of his hand, Yun Chujio realized that she could not move anymore. The alcohol emboldened her, and she immediately started scolding, Gigolo. Let me go. Otherwise, when I can move again, I won't forgive you. I just drank a few glasses of wine with the black chicken head. Do you have to go so far? You're so narrow-minded. You always bully me. And you say that you'll listen to me from now on. Bullshit. You don't give me spirit stones, you don't let me read books, and now you won't let me drink with the black chicken head. You're a big pervert. You don't keep your word. I'll send you a voice transmission, and you'll reply with only a single word. Say, are you entangled with that little fairy? Di Biming was so angry that the veins on his forehead were popping up. Black thing. Shut up. There is no little fairy. If there is, it's because of a little fairy like you. Yun Chujo giggled. I'm not a little fairy, I'm a scourge. I'm a scourge that lives for 1,000 years. I'm a little scourge that harms you. Di Biming was about to say something when he saw that Yun Chujo had already closed her eyes and was asleep. Di Biming gritted his teeth. He was not afraid of settling scores. When you wake up tomorrow, I will teach you a lesson. Chapter 459. What's up with these paintings the next day? Yun Chujo opened her eyes and was a little confused. Why was the gigolo on the bed? Why was he staring at her like he was going to eat her up? Yun Chujo suddenly remembered what happened last night. She closed her eyes and mumbled, I'm so sleepy. I'd better sleep a little longer. Di Biming sneered. If you have the ability, then don't get out of bed. I'd like to see how long you can sleep. Yun Chujo wished that she could turn back time. If she could, she would not have drunk at that time. It was all because of that black chicken head. Why did he want to drink with her? If he wanted to drink, then he could drink himself. If he had nothing to do, why did he want to stir things up? If he wanted to stir things up, it was fine. But if he had drunk too much, why did he have to pour her a drink? It was over. The gigolo would not let her off so easily. It was over. She even called him a gigolo. She seemed to have made a big mistake. What was it again? Why could she not remember? Indeed, drinking made things worse. She was determined not to drink in the future. Di Biming saw that although Yun Chujia's eyes were closed, the expression on her face was very rich. He sneered in his heart. That black thing must be making up lies again. He wanted to see what she would make up. Yun Chujo did some psychological work for a long time before she finally opened her eyes. Then she said with surprise, Prince Charming? When did you come? I missed you so much. Di Biming did not say anything. He just looked at her with a cold smile on his face. Yun Chujo laughed dryly. Prince Charming, I was wrong. I shouldn't have called you a gigolo. Di Biming sneered, what else? I was wrong. I shouldn't have drunk. What else? I shouldn't have drunk with that black chicken head. What else? I shouldn't have eaten with him. Just eating? Why would two people be on the ground while eating? Di Biming thought of the scene from the night before and gritted his teeth in hatred. It's a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. He drank too much and was about to fall when he poured me a drink. When I went to help him, he couldn't hold on and we both fell. It's definitely not what you think. Even if I roll on the ground, I'm still thinking of my Prince Charming. How can I take a liking to a black-headed chicken? Prince Charming, are you jealous? Ha ha ha, you're actually jealous of the black-headed chicken. Although I don't hate him so much now, I won't fall in love with him either. You're just being petty. Di Biming snorted coldly. You don't take a liking to him? I heard that you guys play chess when you have nothing to do. Why are you still playing that? You guys call each other brother and sister very dearly. Sigh. Prince Charming, to be honest, am hired by the black chicken head for 100,000 spirit stones a day. I thought that even if I didn't agree to it, he would still think of ways to cause trouble. Why don't I agree to it and earn some money to spend? I really can't find anyone to play with me. My fifth sister and the others are all busy cultivating. Senior brother Fengming is still recovering after being stung by the Eupatorium poisonous bee. Do you think I can go to the sect leader to play with him? I reluctantly chose Wuji. You also know that he's really stupid. If I had any other choice, I wouldn't choose him. Yun Chujo said with a look of disdain. Di Biming saw the look of disdain on Yun Chujia's face and felt a little better. Speaking of which, how could that idiot Shui Wuji compare to him? Black Thing would only choose him if she was stupid. Shui Wuji's matter aside, what's with these paintings? Di Biming took out a stack of paper. Chapter 460. The Prince Charming is going to murder his wife. Yun Chujo blinked her eyes and said, these drawings look familiar. Prince Charming, where did you get them? Continue to feign innocence. Do you want me to remind you, HMM? Each piece is only 2,000 spirit stones and you won't be at a loss? Black Thing, do you take my words for granted? Yun Chujo felt that there seemed to be black smoke coming out of Di Biming's head. It turned out that people could really be this angry. This time it was over. She felt that she had forgotten an important thing. Turned out to be the gigolo's painting. She even set 2,000 spirit stones for each. Ah, who's going to save me? I'm really courting death. Unfortunately, Yoon Chujo begged in her heart for a long time, but no one came to save her. She decided to save herself. Prince Charming. Don't be angry. As the saying goes, anger hurts the body. If you choke your farts and leave me alone, how am I going to live? When Di Biming heard this, he became even angrier. He pointed at Yoon Chujo while trembling. Black thing, are you cursing me? Do you wish for me to die early so that you can find someone else? Yoon Chujo wanted to slap herself twice. Why did she not know how to speak at the most critical moment? Idol, it's a misunderstanding. I just want to advise you not to be angry. How can I wish for you to die? I wish for you to live for 100 years. When Di Biming heard that, he almost fainted. Black thing. Good. You're very good. The lifespan of us cultivators can range from a few hundred to a few thousand years. You actually cursed me to only live for 100 years. Aren't you cursing me? Yoon Chujo was about to cry from her stupidity. Damn it. In the secular world, living for 100 years was a good thing, okay? However, to this gigolo, it's cursing him to die early. Prince Charming, I must still be drunk, so I just blurted out nonsense. Calm down. Calm down. I'll explain it to you properly. Yoon Chujo quickly continued to explain when she saw that Di Biming was almost in a daze from anger. Prince Charming, I painted so I can see you. If you're not by my side, what should I do when I miss you? So I drew these portraits. I definitely won't sell the paintings. Even if I were to sell paintings, I would sell the black chicken heads and not sell yours. When Yoon Chujo said that, Di Biming became even angrier. His hair almost stood on its end. What? You drew Shwewujis? Where is it? Give it to me. Yoon Chujo was dumbfounded. Did her IQ go offline or something? Why did she always say the wrong things? My Prince Charming, I'm just making an analogy. How can I draw him? I've never seen his. I can only draw if I have seen it. Clang. Di Biming smashed the bed with his palm. Very good. Black thing, you actually want to see Shwewuji's body. Shwewuji's body? I must teach you a lesson today. Yoon Chujo was about to cry from her stupidity. When she saw Di Biming's red eyes, she knew that he would not forgive her if he got hold of her. She was so scared that she jumped out. Fortunately, she did not take off her coat last night. Help! Help! My Prince Charming is going to murder his wife. Someone save me. Move! Move! If you want to stop him, stop the one behind. Help! Someone save me. That person. Ayasuyen. Aren't you coveting my Prince Charming? Quickly confess. Whoever likes him, hurry up and confess. Di Biming, who was chasing after her, was about to go crazy from anger. This black thing is really too outrageous. Good, I don't believe that I can't catch you. Chapter 461. You can take care of this fellow as you please. The Linghua faction had been disturbed by Yoon Chujo early in the morning. Although Di Biming's spiritual power was much higher than Yoon Chujia's, he could not handle the unfamiliar terrain. Yoon Chujo had chosen some remote places to run, and additionally, some female disciples who adored Di Biming had dared to stop Di Biming without fear of death. Although she had been thrown out by Di Biming, Yoon Chujo had successfully slipped into the meeting hall. In the meeting hall, Master Xianyuan was discussing the matter of the earth fire with the other elders. Each faction had already expressed their intention to purchase the earth fire. The next step was how to distribute it. Help! Master Xianyuan, help! My Prince Charming is going to kill me. Yoon Chujo rushed in with her disheveled hair. Everyone was dumbfounded. Didn't they show off their love and affection a few days ago? Why were they shouting about killing each other now? Before everyone could ask what was going on, Di Biming barged in with a murderous aura. Black thing, come back with me immediately. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Yoon Chujo hid behind Master Xianyuan. She revealed her small head. Who are you lying to? If I go back with you now, you won't let me off either. Everyone, please be reasonable. Didn't I just have a few drinks with the red-robed pervert? He wants to teach me a lesson. Is there anyone as unreasonable as him? Biming was about to explode from anger. One should never reveal one's dirty laundry. Did you know that? He was also mad. He actually chased her here. Forget it, he didn't believe that he wouldn't be able to catch her. When Biming thought of this, he took a deep breath and cupped his hands at everyone. I'm sorry, I was really angered by her. Please forgive my rudeness. I'll take my leave. Elder Chu stopped Biming with a smile. Young Master D, please wait. It's good that you've said it out loud. Little Jiu had a temperamental personality, but her nature was good. Yun Chuling, that red-robed pervert and Little Jiu are just playmates. Young Master D, you're overthinking it. When the crowd saw this, they tried to persuade him as well. In their hearts, they were extremely sympathetic towards Biming. To fall in love with such a pervert. How strong was his mental endurance? TSK, this young Master D was so angry that he was going crazy. Yes, young Master D, Little Jiu was scared out of her wits by you. If she didn't care about you, why would she explain herself to you? That's right, Little Jiu isn't the type of person to be fickle. Moreover, that Yun Chuling is very stingy. Little Jiu definitely wouldn't look up to such a person. Little Jiu, come over here and apologize to young Master D. This matter will be over. Elder Chu waved at Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu blinked her eyes and said aggrievedly, I'm afraid that he will hit me. If he hits me, you have to stop him. Don't talk nonsense. Why would young Master D hit you? Come and apologize. Elder Chu glared at her. Yun Chujiu walked over in small steps and then bared her teeth at Biming. Prince Charming, I was wrong. I promise that I will never drink with the black chicken's head again. I promise that I will not sell paintings of black chicken's head. Elder Chu and the rest were stunned. What was that? The head of a black chicken was drawn? Everyone wanted to give Biming 2 slaps on her face. This lady was asking for a beating. Why did you draw something like that? If you had nothing to do. And it was the head of a black chicken. Yun Chujiu added with a smile, I will only draw you. And I will not sell it on the streets. Boom! The old men's faces flushed red. Elder Chu gritted his teeth and pushed Yun Chujiu into Biming's arms. Young Master D, you can take care of this fellow as you please. Well, pretend that we didn't see it. Chapter 462. Yun Chujiu's apology. Biming immediately imprisoned Yun Chujiu and nodded to the crowd. Sorry to disturb you, goodbye. Yun Chujiu shouted at the crowd, traitors. You traitors who betrayed your masters and ancestors. This little ancestor will not forgive you. The crowd felt no shame at all. They should teach this kind of evil person a lesson. Biming carried Yun Chujiu back to the courtyard. Yun Chujiu's intestines had turned green with regret along the way. Why was her mouth always spewing nonsense today? It must be the sequelae from drinking too much yesterday. Drinking would ruin things? Now the most important thing was how to appease this pretty boy. He was really angry this time. It was all because of that black chicken's head. Are you not angry anymore? The reason I wanted to run away was that I was afraid that you would be mad. After running for so long, don't you feel a little better? Why don't you give me a beating? But you definitely can't bear to do that, right? If you hit me, you'll feel hurt too, so it's better not to hit me. You can scold me as much as you want. I'll definitely listen to you honestly. My Prince Charming, why don't I write an apology letter for you? I will realize my mistake deeply and I promise to never do it again. Biming was full of anger. This torment had indeed lessened a lot. He couldn't bear to beat her up or scold her. He couldn't come up with any tricks, so he placed Yun Chujiu in front of the desk and said, an apology letter. Write it, Prince Charming, I'm still imprisoned by you. I can't write one like this. Yun Chujiu said pitifully. Biming snorted coldly and released Yun Chujiu's confinement. Yun Chujiu moved her limbs and took out a brush, ink, paper and inkstone. Soon, an apology letter was completed. Prince Charming, here a fresh apology letter. Please have a look. Biming was overjoyed when he saw the first line of words. After the big 3 words of the apology letter were written, number 00000001. What is the meaning of this number? Are you planning to write it often in the future? Are you planning to write a few 100 million apology letters for me? Prince Charming, my hand slipped, I wrote too many zeros. Keep reading. Keep reading. Yun Chujo thought to herself. She did not make big mistakes, but she kept making small mistakes. This apology letter would definitely be written in the future. Di Baiming glared at her and continued to read. Self-reflection letter number 000000001. Dear Prince Charming, I was wrong. I was so wrong. With the reminder and care of my Prince Charming, I realized my mistake. I should have not been strict with myself. Because I was soft-hearted and agreed to drink with the head of the black chicken, I walked on the wrong path. I summarized my mistakes as follows. First, without the permission of my Prince Charming, I ate and played with the head of the black chicken. However, I definitely did not sleep with it. I can swear to God on this point. So far, the only man I have slept with is you, Prince Charming. There might be a second man in the future. What? When Di Baiming saw this, he almost exploded with anger. He wanted to strangle Yun Chujo to death. Yun Chujo shrunk her neck and said, Prince Charming, don't be impulsive. Don't be impulsive. Keep reading. Keep reading. Di Baiming glared at her fiercely and continued to read. There might be a second man in the future, and that would be our son. Haha, there might even be a grandson. Haha, I've already thought it through. If we have a son, we'll call him D. If we have a daughter, we'll call him D. In any case, it means number 1. Am I very smart? Chapter 463. A letter of apology or a letter of challenge. When Di Baiming saw what was written at the back, his expression eased up a little. Black Thing's naming skills were really not that good. It was no wonder. The Yun family's name was derived from family history. Look at the names of the siblings, Yun Chuzi, Yunchulu. There was no one else. Di Baiming continued reading. 2. I shouldn't drink alcohol. Although alcohol is a good thing, it is harmful to drink too much. Especially for people like me who have poor alcohol tolerance and taste, I definitely shouldn't drink alcohol. I promise that I will not drink alcohol in the future. 3. I shouldn't secretly draw your thing. Although my intentions are good and art is not sinful, since my Prince Charming doesn't like it, I will not draw anymore. The above was my mistake. Because of my mistake, it caused huge mental stress to Prince Charming. Regarding this, I sincerely apologize and promise that I won't make similar mistakes in the future. I hope Prince Charming can forgive me. When he saw this, Di Baiming was quite satisfied. No matter what, it looked like a normal apology letter. However, when he read the last part, Di Baiming almost gasped. He saw the following words. Prince Charming, the above are not my heartfelt words. The following are my heartfelt words. First, Black Chicken Head and I are just playmates. We don't have any ambiguous feelings, nor do we have an impure physical relationship. Prince Charming, you lost your temper for no reason and seriously hurt my little heart. Second, the wine is brewed from spirit rice. If I don't drink it, it would be a waste. It is shameful to waste food. I uphold the principle of not wasting, so I helped Black Chicken Head drink a little wine. Is this wrong? Thirdly, I drew your thing. That's because I like you. Why didn't I draw someone else? Moreover, I didn't let you show all of your body. Didn't I cover you with something? How stingy. In short, this incident was completely caused by your narrow-mindedness. However, I, as an adult, will not remember the past. After all, you care too much about me. I will forgive you. Di Baiming threw the letter on the table. Black Thing, is this a letter of apology or a letter of challenge? Yun Chujo said with a cheeky smile, Prince Charming, if you are not happy, you can look at it the other way around. Just pretend that what you wrote in front of me is what I am thinking. If you really are angry, go and beat up Wu Ji. If it wasn't for him coming to the Linghua faction to spy on you, wouldn't all these things not have happened? Therefore, the main culprit is Wu Ji's head. Go and beat him up. Achoo! Achoo! Shui Wuji, who was wrapped in the blanket, sneezed twice. It must be Di Baiming's paralyzed face scolding me. That bastard. If he didn't kick me into the pool, would I have caught a cold? Hua am a little drunk. Tell me in detail what happened last night. Secret agent Hua told him everything that happened the night before, including what Shui Wuji said, Yun Chuji's words, and Di Baiming's expression. Shui Wuji flipped his hair. Little Sister Jo sang a pretty good birthday song. At least the lyrics are easy to remember. This little girl is quite interesting. Secret Agent Hua Hua looked at Xue Wuji's silly smile and had an ominous feeling in her heart. Young master, you're not going serious, are you? You're not falling in love with that Yun Chuzhou, are you? Xue Wuji was stunned and then scolded angrily. What nonsense are you talking about? How could I fall in love with such a skinny little girl? I just don't think she's that annoying anymore. Chapter 464. You're just looking for trouble. Secret Agent Hua Hua saw that Xue Wuji did not lie. Only then did she relax. Yun Chuzhou, that little girl, was clearly in love with Di Baiming. If their young master was really moved, then he was just looking for trouble. No. I have to go check on little sister Jiu. I think I heard little sister Jiu calling for help just now. No, actually, I'm going to check on Di Baiming's facial paralysis. Xue Wuji got up from the bed and ran out of the room. Secret Agent Hua Hua frowned. Was the first half or the second half of the young master's sentence true? Xue Wuji soon arrived outside Yun Chujia's courtyard. Di Baiming, come out. How can you bully little sister Jiu, a girl? Inside the house, Yun Chuzhou just said that the culprit was Wu Jia's head and asked Di Baiming to beat Xue Wuji up. Then, Xue Wuji shouted at the door of the courtyard. Yun Chuzhou gave Xue Wuji a thumbs up in her heart. Xue Wuji had finally done a good deed. He should quickly get the attention of Di Baiming so that he would not find trouble with her. Di Baiming heard Xue Wuji's shout and glared at Yun Chuzhou before leaving the house. Xue Wuji saw Di Baiming and Yun Chuzhou come out. Noticing Yun Chujia's disheveled hair, he could not help but sneer. Di Baiming, I didn't expect that a man like you would bully a weak girl like little sister Jiu. How disgraceful. Little sister Jiu, you don't have to be afraid. Big brother will take care of you. Di Baiming had always disliked Xue Wuji, so when he heard him say this, he snorted coldly. Xue Wuji, do you want to spar? This is the Linghua faction, so it's not good for us to fight. If you want to fight, follow me out and find a place. It'll help you sober up. Xue Wuji's eyes flickered a few times. He was not fucking stupid. He could not beat this wooden-faced man at all. He would only leave if his head had been struck. This young master is now infected with a cold. Otherwise, would I still be afraid of you? Little sister Jiu, you drank so much yesterday. Does your head hurt? Big brother has a sober fruit here. You'll feel much better after eating one. Xue Wuji took out a red spirit fruit from his storage ring. Yun Chuzhou was about to reach out to take it when she saw Di Baiming's fierce eyes. She said against her heart, Brother Wuji, it's all right. I feel fine. Xue Wuji threw the fruit to Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou caught it subconsciously. Xue Wuji said, Di Baiming, you can't be so stingy, right? Don't you have confidence that you can't beat me? Is that why you tried so hard to stop me from getting along with little sister Jiu? Di Baiming laughed out loud. Xue Wuji, you think too highly of yourself. I've never considered you a worthy opponent. Xue Wuji rolled up his sleeves. Di Baiming, don't talk big. Do you dare to fight me for 300 rounds? Why not? Please. Let's find a place outside the Linghua faction to spar. Di Baiming raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect Xue Wuji to change his mind so quickly. Just now, he even said that he was infected with a cold. There's no need to go outside the Linghua sect. With little sister Jiu and the three of us, we can fight the landlord. Today, I will make you and little sister Jiu lose everything. Xue Wuji said confidently. He thought to himself, Di Baiming had never played this so-called fight the landlord before. It must be very smelly. Secret Agent Hua Hua almost fainted. Young master, you are simply asking for trouble. If you lose, you should howl again when you go back. Chapter 465. Was limited in number. Secret Agent Hua's hunch was right. Xue Wuji left the courtyard with a howl. Di Baiming was in a better mood after winning against Xue Wuji. Yun Chuzhou began to fawn over him. Dear Prince Charming, please forgive me. Look at how many rounds I better against Wu Ji just now. We are in a beautiful relationship. Wu Ji and I are not even friends. Aren't you being too jealous? Idol, I have the honey of the eupatorium bees here. Let me make some honey water for you. It's delicious. Yun Chujo saw that Di Biming's expression had eased up a lot. She said sneakily, idle, "It's useless for you to keep those portraits. Just give them back to me. I can even relieve the pain of lovesickness. Don't even think about it. In the future, I'll confiscate every single one of them if I find them. Do you still have any more?" Di Biming stared at Yun Chujo. "No more, I don't have any more." Di Biming saw that Yun Chujo did not look like she was lying, so he snorted coldly and let her go. Yun Chujo was proud in her heart. "Humph. I don't have any, I still have a stack. Gigolo, you want to fight with me? You're still too inexperienced." From this day onwards, Xue Wuji crawled out of bed and reported to Yun Chujo in the courtyard. Once Di Biming expressed his intention to chase him away, he would say that Di Biming was not confident and that Di Biming had been goaded by Xue Wuji. He would pretend that he did not care at all. Hence, the moment Yun Chujo stepped out of the door, the imposing Di Biming was on the left while the devilish and handsome Xue Wuji was on the right. Countless female disciples were envious of her. Furthermore, no one knew who spread the news, but everyone knew that Yun Chuling was not Yun Chujia's brother at all. After thinking about it, if she was not her brother, then he must want to court her. It was really infuriating to compare people. Yun Chujo, that little girl, actually had 2 outstanding men going after her, but none of us did. Seeing that his identity had been exposed, Xue Wuji became even more unbridled. If he had nothing to do, he would try to curry favor with Yun Chujo. On this day, Yun Chujo had just woken up when she heard a commotion outside. Yun Chujo curiously went out to take a look and saw that there was a huge heart-shaped red pinelia flower outside. Xue Wuji was still holding a bunch of pinelia flowers in his hand. "Little sister Jo, in my heart, you are as beautiful as this pinelia flower." The female disciples who were watching could not stop screaming. This Yun Chuling was too romantic. How great would it be if he gave it to me? "Brother Wuji, are these pinelia flowers for me?" The corners of Yun Chujia's eyes twitched slightly. What was wrong with Xue Wuji? "Little sister Jo, of course these flowers are for you. This is a token of my appreciation for you," Xue Wuji said affectionately. Di Biming, who was standing behind Yun Chujo, wished that he could turn these flowers into powder. Damn it. I have to find something to do for this Xue Wuji. Otherwise, he would be like a fly circling around the black thing all day long. It was inevitable that the black thing would be misled. Yun Chujo said with a smile, "Then thank you, Brother Wuji. Are these flowers mine now?" Xue Wuji nodded. He was very proud of himself. He looked at Di Biming provocatively. "Humph. How could you come up with such a romantic idea? I will definitely win Yun Chujia's heart." When Di Biming saw that Yun Chujo actually accepted these flowers, his face turned green. He did not expect Yun Chujo to be so happy and shout, "Fresh pinelia flowers? Anyone wants to buy them? 5 spiritual stones for a flower, 5 spiritual stones for a flower. You can't buy it at a loss, 5 spiritual stones for a flower, you can't buy it at a loss." The pinelia flower that Yun Chuling picked personally is limited in quantity. If you want to buy it, hurry up. Chapter 466. Big Brother will miss you with Yun Chujia's shout. The female disciples who adored Xue Wuji began to frantically buy the pinelia flowers. Yun Chujo regretted this. If she had known that they were so crazy, she would have asked for 10 spiritual stones for one. Di Biming raised his eyebrows at Xue Wuji. Xue Wuji was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He covered his chest with his hand and said, "Little sister Jo, you hurt my heart too much. My heart is about to break. These pinelia flowers were picked by me in the middle of the night. Every single one of them represents my strong love for you. You changed them into ice-cold spirit stones. You really make me sad." Yun Chujo giggled. "Brother Wuji, thank you. But you can just give me spirit stones next time. Compared to these impractical things, I still prefer shiny spirit stones. 1 piece is not too little, 10 billion is not too much, the more the better." Vulgar. Too vulgar. Little sister Jo, you have to get rid of this habit of worshipping money. As the saying goes, those who get close to the vermilion bird will be the scarlet bird, while those who get close to the ink bird will be the black bird. It is because you have stayed with Di Biming for a long time that you have lost the innocent and romantic feelings of a young girl. Let's go, I will bring you to pick wildflowers. When we come back, we will have roast meat for dinner. Xue Wuji had just been defeated. Yet he was immediately revived with full health. Yun Chujio was a little tempted. Di Biming coughed dryly. Xue Wuji, has your blood demon sect been very free recently? You've been in the Linghua sect for quite a while now. Shouldn't you go back to the blood demon sect to check on things? Xue Wuji asked with a guarded expression. Di Biming, you're not trying to keep me away from little sister Jiu, are you? Di Biming raised his eyebrows. This venerable one is only making suggestions. It's up to you whether you listen to it or not. However, this venerable one feels that if you don't go back today, I'm afraid you'll have no choice but to go back tomorrow. Xue Wuji gritted his teeth in anger. Good. Very good. Di Biming, you've made me look at you in a new light. You've learned to play dirty tricks. Anyway, I have to go back to the blood demon sect to prepare a birthday present for little sister Jiu, so we'll go back first. Little sister Jiu, in a few days when it's your birthday, Big Brother will come and celebrate your birthday. Yun Chujio was stunned. She did not expect Wu Ji to even know her birthday. It was only 2 months away from her 16th birthday. Time really flew by. Di Biming's face was gloomy. His original body did not even think of helping Black Thing celebrate her birthday. Xue Wuji thought of it. Why was he so concerned about Black Thing? Was it just to go against him, or did he really like Black Thing? No. He had to extinguish this flame. He could not let him appear in front of Black Thing in the future. Little sister Jiu, Big Brother will leave first. If I don't leave, this facial paralysis will really do terrible things. Big Brother will miss you. See you later. Xue Wuji said as he turned around and left, looking like a little wife who had been abandoned. After Di Biming entered the courtyard, he said unnaturally, Little Jiu, I will also give you a birthday present on your birthday. Yun Chujio giggled. Okay, then you must give me a big present. If you don't know what to give me, then give me the 10 million upper-grade spiritual stones that the black chicken's head gave you as compensation. I will like it very much. Di Biming was still feeling a little guilty, but when he heard Yun Chujio's words, he immediately felt guilty and glared at her. Don't even think about it. Yun Chujio pursed her lips. This gigolo was good in every way, but he didn't give her any spirit stones. He was stingy. Chapter 467 was a waste of her quota. 2 days later, Di Biming had some matters to attend to and left the Linghua faction grounds. Yun Chujio started to wreak havoc again. Today she would go to the West Peak to get some food, tomorrow she would go to the East Peak to have some fun, and the day after that she would go to the Spirit Herb Garden to pick up a few herbs. The only thing that made dissatisfied Yun Chujio was that the Heaven's Gate sect did not choose to use the fragment of the Great Void Mirror in exchange for the Earth Fire. Yun Chujio could only get some of the lowest grade demon beasts from the Great Void Mirror to roast and eat. Other than that, it was useless. In the end, the Heaven's Gate sect still compensated the Linghua sect with 1/10 of the share of spirit stones. Yun Chujio also fought for 1/100th of the share of spirit stones from Master Xianyuan. This fellow's heart was bubbling with joy. 1/100th was a sustainable income. As long as the spirit stone mine continuously produced results, she would be able to make a profit. As the great competition that happened once every 30 years in the 4 great sects approached, the entire Linghua sect began to get busy. The first thing was the quota. Only the inner and direct disciples of the 4 great sects were qualified to participate in the competition, and each sect only had 100 quotas. The Linghua sect had a total of 33 direct disciples, and the remaining 67 were chosen by the inner disciples after the competition. As Yun Chuzi and the others were new disciples, their spiritual power and actual combat experience were not comparable to those old disciples, so they were not selected. The Bai siblings and Yun Chushan were also not selected. The only seedling of the new disciples was Yun Chujio, the direct disciple. Some of the old inner disciples had some complaints about this. Yun Chujio was only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm, so the lowest that could get a spot was at the 9th level of the spirit enhancement realm. Yun Chujio had wasted a spot for nothing. Yun Chujio did not care about the balance in other people's hearts. When she heard that she was going out to participate in the sect competition, her eyelashes immediately lit up with joy. This was great. She was going to die of boredom. It was a good time for her to go out for a stroll. If there was an opportunity, she could buy a few books and it would be even more perfect. As for the results of the competition, well, we'll talk about it when the time comes. The plan did not change quickly. They just had to adapt to the situation. Before leaving, Master Xianyuan specially held a mobilization meeting. It was nothing more than to bring honor to the sect. The most important thought was that the results of the sect competition were related to the allocation of a portion of spirit stones. Therefore, everyone had to do their best. The share of the spirit stones was divided into 10 portions, 2 portions for each sect. The remaining 2 portions were divided according to the results of the competition that took place 30 years ago. Yun Chujio suddenly understood. So it was for the spirit stones. No wonder the 4 great sects were all on steroids. She rubbed her chin and pondered. If she were to accidentally get another first place, would little Xianyuan give her another portion of the spirit stones? Yun Chujio immediately became spirited at the thought of earning spirit stones. She asked Feng Ming to find out what the competition was, and what the process was like. Little Sister Jiu, the competition of the 4 great sects that is held once every 30 years is divided into 2 parts. The first round is the Wuwei Tower trial, and the second round is the pill refining, artifact refining, array formation, and talisman making competition. Oh, how are the 2 portions of spirit stones divided? This was the focus of Yun Chujio's attention. After each round of the competition, 1 portion of spirit stones will be divided according to the results. 1 portion of spirit stones will be divided into 10 portions. The first rank sect will get 4 portions, the second rank sect will get 3 portions, the third rank sect will get 2 portions, and the fourth rank sect will get 1 portion. I see. This method is quite reasonable. What is the Wuwei Tower trial about? Yun Chujio nodded and continued to ask. Chapter 468. For the sake of spirit stones, I will not force you. No one could tell the origin of the Wuwei Tower. It seemed that ever since the Qingxian continent, the Wuwei Tower had been standing at the foot of the Wuwei Mountain. The Wuwei Tower could only be entered by cultivators of the spirit refinement stage and the spirit cultivator stage. Moreover, each person only had 1 chance to enter the tower in their lifetime. The Wuwei Tower was divided into 9 levels, and each level that passed had a corresponding amount of points and rewards. However, every time the disciples entered after opening it, the scenery and situation were different, and no one knew what they would encounter inside. It was said that the first sect master of the Linghua sect, Patriarch Linghua, passed the 8th level of the Wuwei Tower, and some of the Dharma treasures and spirit tools that made him famous later were obtained on the 8th level. However, Patriarch Linghua failed the trial on the 9th level. The 8th level was only a legend to everyone. Not to mention the 9th level. Even the inner sect disciples with extremely outstanding aptitudes had only passed through the 6th level. Even the 7th level had not been entered by anyone for thousands of years. After entering the Wuwei Tower, the most magical thing about it was that those who participated in the trial would not really die inside. However, after you died, you would be ejected from the Wuwei Tower. The more Yun Chujio heard, the more excited she became. Oh my god, not only were there points but also rewards? It must be that the higher the level of the tower, the more bountiful the rewards. At that time, no matter what, she would have to clear a few more levels. In any case, she would not die. Feng Ming saw that Yun Chujio's eyes were shining, and he could not help but remind her, Little Sister Jiu, although you won't really die inside the Wuwei Tower, the feeling of being injured every time is the same. When the time comes, don't push yourself. I won't force myself. As long as it's for the spirit stones, I won't force myself at all. She naturally spoke the truth. Feng Ming was used to Yun Chujio's moneygrubber character. On second thought, Little Sister Jiu's spirit power was the lowest. Perhaps she would be ejected at the first level, so he didn't have to worry too much. A few days later, Master Xianyuan personally led a team, and the participants of the Linghua sex competition boarded their flying spirit tools and rushed to Wuwei Mountain. Yun Chujio was not familiar with the others, so she gathered with Feng Ming, Gang Yi, and Shixian. She even took out the homemade playing cards and taught them how to play. The 4 of them were having a great time. Some of the male disciples found it interesting, so they also gathered around and watched them play. Senior sister Zhua, this Yun Chujiu is shameless. Not only did she hook up with young Master Di and Yun Chuling, but now even our 3 heroes of Linghua have been bewitched by her. The one who spoke was Qi Pianpian, a true disciple of the West Peak. That's right, this Yun Chujiu is the most shameless. She's only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm, yet she still has the cheek to take a spot. She's even hooking up with 3 or 4 people every day, and the good cabbages have been stolen by this shameless pig. Another core disciple of the West Peak, Wu Yanyu, echoed from the side. I don't know if those people have bad eyes, but this Yun Chujiu is flat in front and back, her spiritual power is low, and she's also crazy. What's there to like? That Yun Chujiu is simply incomparable to our senior sister Zhua. A few female disciples surrounded Zhua Piaoyu and pointed at Yun Chujiu. While belittling Yun Chujiu, they didn't forget to flatter Zhua Piaoyu. Zhua Piaoyu frowned slightly. Senior sisters, junior sister Yun is just a temperamental person. It's easy for people to misunderstand her when she does things. Besides, she's still my savior in Eupatorium Valley. Don't gossip about her in front of me in the future. Senior sister Zhua, you are just too kind. Besides, how can she be your savior? We have all heard about it. If she didn't insist on following you, perhaps you and senior brother Feng Ming wouldn't have been stung. That's right. Senior sister Zhua, you can't always think of others. You will suffer. Yun Chujiu is a thick-skinned person. She thinks you are easy to bully. Senior sister Zhua, you don't have to participate. We'll avenge you. Zhua Piaoyu's eyes flashed with a trace of pride. These idiots would find trouble with Yun Chujiu, and even something happened, it had nothing to do with her. Yun Chujiu, just wait and see. Chapter 469. You can continue pretending, hey. Yun Chujiu, don't you have any manners? Can you lower your voice? You're the loudest person in the entire room. You're afraid that others won't know that you can seduce men? Qi Pianpian walked to Yun Chujiu's side and said in a strange tone. That's right. How did you get into the competition without knowing anything? Hurry up and cultivate, or else you'll be ejected when you reach the 1st level of the Wuwei Tower. That would be a huge loss of face. It doesn't matter if you lose face. I'm just afraid that our Linghua sect will lose face because of you. Wu Yanyu echoed from the side, however. She looked at Shi Xian with a resentful gaze. Shi Xian shivered from her gaze. Is there something wrong with junior martial sister Wu's eyes? Why are you rolling your eyes at me for no reason? Yun Chujiu was playing happily when she heard what they said. Immediately her face darkened. This is the first warning. Don't disturb us when we're playing cards. So what if I'm talking loudly? The most important thing for us cultivators is to maintain our composure. If you can't even overcome this little interference of yours, what's the point of cultivating? Yun Chujiu, you're really good at spouting nonsense. Lower your voice immediately, or I'll report it to the elders. Qi Pianpian said fiercely. The second time, Yun Chujiu glanced at her and spat out 3 words. What first time, second time, do you still dare to hit me? Although Qi Pianpian had heard that Yun Chujiu had beaten up Su Yan, the situation at that time was different from now. There was still the sect leader and the elders on the flying spirit tool. I don't believe that she would dare to be so arrogant. Pa! Pa! Yun Chujiu stood up and gave Qi Pianpian 2 slaps, then kicked her away. Wu Yanyu, who was standing at the side, saw the situation and was about to move forward to attack. Yun Chujiu sneered and directly kicked her away too. Yun Chujiu turned around and looked at the few people surrounding Zhua Piaoyu. She sneered and said, if you dare to say bad things about me behind my back again, you will end up like them. Didn't the kind and sensible senior sister Zhua say that? I'm her savior. If you don't want her to bear the reputation of being ungrateful, then shut the fuck up. These female disciples usually only played games of scheming and used words to defeat the other party. They had never met a deviant like Yun Chujiu, who would beat them up at the slightest disagreement. Therefore they did not react in time. It was not until Qi Piaoyu and Wu Yanyu cursed Yun Chujiu and got up from the ground that everyone reacted and also blamed Yun Chujiu. Zhua Piaoyu said gently, everyone calm down. I believe that junior sister Yun will apologize to the 2 junior sisters. Junior sister Yun. Although junior sister Qi and junior sister Wu's words are unpleasant, You should not beat them up. Hurry up and apologize to them. I will mediate and make peace. Don't make a big deal out of this. After all, we are going to participate in the sect competition. We can't already lose now from infighting. Zhuo Piaoyu's words had taken into account the relationship between the disciples of the same sect and the upcoming sect competition. She had to admit that it was very convincing. In comparison, Yun Chuzhou was making a big deal out of nothing. Moreover, beating up her fellow disciples in front of so many people was too arrogant. Zhuo Piaoyu, I've warned you not to provoke me again. Ill-treat it as saving an ungrateful wretch in the Eupatorium Valley. Shut up now and I won't argue with you. If you continue to dawdle, I won't be polite to you. Besides, don't think that your methods of inviting and buying people's hearts are so brilliant. We're not blind, so why is it that you're so perfect and have no problems at all? Obviously, you're just pretending. You've hidden all your unspeakable thoughts. Just keep pretending. Sooner or later, everyone will see whether your white lotus flower heart is truly white or black. Let's continue playing. I'll tell you the same thing. A slut is a hypocrite. In the future, all of you stay away from the white lotus flower. You might even become a beauty. Yun Chuzhou called out to Feng Ming and the others to continue playing cards. Chapter 470. Pokes into the hearts of others. Yun Chuzhou's words were extremely novel. It was the first time that everyone had heard such a statement. After thinking about it carefully, they felt that what she said made some sense. That's right, everyone has their flaws. Zhuo Piaoyu was too perfect. She always had a gentle and kind face. They had never seen her say anything bad about anyone. And no one had ever said anything bad about her. Was she really that perfect? Or was it just like what Yun Chuzhou had said, that she was just pretending? Heavens, if a person could pretend for more than 10 years, then this person's thoughts were truly terrifying. Zhuo Piaoyu saw that everyone was somewhat evasive, and she was almost driven mad with anger. All these years, everything had been smooth sailing for her. From the sect leader to the miscellaneous disciples in the Linghua sect, who hadn't praised her. How come ever since she met this Yun Chuzhou, she had been repeatedly questioned? She was too hateful. When Zhuo Piaoyu saw Feng Ming and Yun Chuzhou chatting and laughing, her heart felt as if it was on fire. She walked to Yun Chuzhou's side and said, "Junior sister Yun, you might have misunderstood me. I don't have any other ill intentions. I just feel that you are being too arrogant towards your fellow disciples. Moreover, your spiritual power is low. It wasn't easy for you to get this chance to participate in the sect competition, so why are you wasting your time on playing cards?" Yun Chuzhou glanced at her. This Zhuo Piaoyu was very smart. She didn't like to speak in such a low manner, thus she said with a smile, "Then thank you, senior sister Zhuo. Although my spiritual power is low, my luck has always been good. Maybe my results in this trial will be better than yours." Qi Piampian said with a swollen face, "Yun Chuzhou, you are really shameless. How dare you compete with Senior Martial Sister Zhuo?" Senior Martial Sister Zhuo had just broken through to the 3rd level of the Spirit Cultivator realm, and you, a 4th level Spirit Cultivator, still have better results than Senior Martial Sister Zhuo. It's simply a fool's dream. Don't mention Senior Martial Sister Zhuo. You can't even compare to mine. Yun Chuzhou, do you dare to make a bet with Senior Martial Sister Zhuo? Yun Chuzhou looked at her. Bet? What bet? It depends on which one of you gets the most points in the Wuwei Tower. Whoever gets the most points wins. Do you dare to make a bet? I guess not. TSK. The difference between the 4th level of Spirit Enhancement and the 3rd level of Spirit Cultivator is like heaven and earth. Qi Piampian deliberately used words to provoke Yun Chuzhou. She was afraid that she would not agree. Yun Chuzhou touched her chin. I'm more concerned about the bet. If the bet is to my liking, there's no harm in making one. Qi Piaoyu did not expect Yun Chuzhou to actually agree. She looked at Zhuo Piaoyu. Senior sister Zhuo, are you going to bet with her or not? Junior sister Yun, junior sister Qi is joking. The difference in our spiritual power is too big. You'd better not take part. Zhuo Piaoyu was more than willing. Yun Chuzhou, you overestimate yourself. Since you dare get into a bet with me, then don't blame me. However, I still pretended to advise you, lest others say that I'm bullying others. Zhuo Piaoyu, are you tired? You actually can't wait to gamble with me in your heart. right? Tell me, what's the bet? Yun Chujia's favorite thing to do was to poke other people's hearts. Xue Piaoyu was so angry that she almost fainted. This Yun Chujio was too detestable. The one who lost willingly gave up his identity as a successor disciple. Do you dare gamble? Xue Piaoyu's eyes were red with anger. She didn't bother to hide it and directly stated her purpose. Fengming frowned. Junior sister Xue, this bet of yours is a little too big. Just a joke. Forget it, junior sister little Jiu, let it go. Let's continue playing cards. Actually, Fengming was doing this for Xue Piaoyu's good. He knew Yun Chujia's true identity. What did a successor disciple mean to Yun Chujio? But to Xue Piaoyu it was very important. However, when Xue Piaoyu heard Fengming say this, she thought that Fengming was protecting Yun Chujio. So she became even more resentful of Yun Chujio. She raised her voice and said, Yun Chujio, do you dare take up this bet? Are you afraid? Chapter 471. We'll treat you guys to hot pot. Yun Chujio smiled. Of course I dare, but this bet isn't very attractive. How about an additional 1,000,000 low-grade spirit stones? Fengming hurriedly stopped Xue Piaoyu. Junior sister Xue. I'm doing this for your own good. Don't gamble anymore. Originally, Xue Piaoyu was still slightly hesitant. Hearing Fengming's words, she immediately said, all right. I promise you. If I lose, not only will I voluntarily give up my identity as a successor disciple, but I'll also lose 1,000,000 low-grade spirit stones to you. What if you lose? If I lose, then I won't be a successor disciple anymore. I'll give you the 1,000,000 low-grade spirit stones. It's a deal then. Whoever goes back on their word is a wuss. Yun Chujio said with a smile. She was going to make another small fortune. This girl possessed this sort of mysterious confidence. Xue Piaoyu sneered. Of course I won't go back on my word. I'm just afraid that when the time comes, someone will go back on theirs. Yun Chujio shrugged her shoulders. Yeah, I'm just afraid that some people will go back on their word and cry too. I hope I won't be proven right. Xue Piaoyu glanced at Yun Chujio with contempt and turned around to leave. What a joke. Would she lose? She was at the 3rd level of the Spirit Cultivator realm, and Yun Chujio was only at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement realm. She would definitely win. Everyone also felt that Yun Chujio was definitely going to lose. It was pretty much a done deal. Was there even a need for comparison between the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement realm and the 3rd level of the Spirit Cultivator realm? Only a few people were somewhat uncertain. Qi Piampian was at the 9th level of the Spirit Enhancement realm, and Wu Yinyu was at the 1st level of the Spirit Cultivator realm. Although Yun Chujia's attack was relatively sudden, the two of them were actually sent flying by a kick. There must be something fishy going on. Qi Piampian saw Xue Piaoyu leave and said to Yun Chujio relentlessly, Yun Chujio, you hit us. Are you going to just shrug it off? You can go and file a complaint. I'm waiting to be punished. Go. Don't hesitate. Don't think about Su Yan. Your luck will definitely be better than hers. Go quickly. Don't interrupt my card game anymore. Yun Chujio waved her small claws and said indifferently. Wu Yinyu pulled Qi Piampian to the side. Piampian. Su Yan went to the law enforcement agency to file a complaint about Yun Chujio, but she didn't get anything fruitful out of it. She was even reprimanded by Elder Shao. Let's not do that. Qi Piampian covered her face and said resentfully, then we were beaten by her for nothing? She'll definitely lose this bet. When she's no longer a true disciple, we will find a chance to teach her a lesson. Besides, there'll be plenty of time in the future. There will always be a chance, Wu Yanyu said insidiously. Hearing Wu Yanyu's words, Qi Piampian had no choice but to give up on the idea of complaining. The other female disciples who were gossiping did not dare to speak loudly when they saw how valiant Yun Chujio was. They only continued talking in low voices. Yun Chujio could not be bothered with them. She was having a great time. Looking at the spirit stones she won, her mood was extremely good. She thought to herself that it was better to go out and train, and she really hoped that the sect would hold more such events in the future. It would be more lively with more people, and she could even earn money. Yun Chujio won the spirit stones and generously treated Fengming and the other two to hot pot. It was the first time that the three of them had eaten a pill furnace hot pot. They all praised that it was really delicious. Junior sister little Jiu, why do you have so many pill furnaces? Are they all for hot pot? Feng Ming asked curiously. Yes, I often treat my fourth brother and the others to pill furnace hot pots. There aren't enough of these. In fact, the pill furnaces were all from the Heaven and Earth Universal Furnace, which had temporarily been requisitioned by Yun Chujiu. Chapter 472. How can one be so thick-skinned? They talked and laughed along the way. The next morning, the people of the Spirit Radiance sect arrived at the foot of the Wuwei Mountain. Other than the towering mountain peak, the most eye-catching thing, there was a 9-story black tower. That was probably the Wuwei Tower. There was a huge stone wall outside Wuwei Tower, and at the top of the wall were the names and points of the top 10 people in the past 10,000 years. The first person to rank was Yuan Linghua, who was also Patriarch Linghua. The bottom of the stone wall was empty. Once one enters, the names of all the people who entered the Wuwei Tower would appear. As the points changed, the rankings would constantly change until there was no one to mention. Due to the importance of the matter, the leaders of the 4 great sects personally led the team, and the foot of the Wuwei Mountain immediately became lively. The 4 leaders first assessed the strength of their opponents. Master Xianyuan frowned. Although the spiritual power of a true disciple was comparable to that of the other 3 sects, the spiritual power of an inner disciple was slightly weaker than that of the other sections. This was related to the Spirit Radiance sect's concept of cultivation. The Spirit Radiance mantra emphasized on building foundations, so it did not go hand in hand with rapid advancement. Du Gai had put in a lot of effort this time. As long as he could get first place in these 2 rounds of tests, he would be able to get a lot of spirit stones. Then, the small amount of spirit stones that he had to compensate Spirit Radiance sect was nothing. Therefore, the Heavenly Gate sect had prepared a lot of pills for the disciples participating in the competition so that they could obtain better results. Du Gai saw Yun Chujiu at a glance. Before he could react, Yun Chujiu jumped over and greeted him with a smile. Sect leader Du Gai. Long time no see. Although Du Gai wanted to slap her to death, his reputation had to be protected. He said coldly, little girl, you have the lowest spiritual power among the disciples participating in this trial. I hope you can reach the 2nd level. The 2nd level? I was preparing to pass the 9th level. Yun Chujiu straightened her little body and said arrogantly, little girl, you have ambition. Patriarch Linghua only passed the 8th level. If you can pass the 9th level, the first name on it will be you. Du Gai was so angry that he was amused. He pointed at the top of the stone wall. Thank you for your praise, Master Du Gai. If I pass the 9th level, shouldn't you give me a reward? Yun Chujiu did not seem to realize that Du Gai was being sarcastic. Du Gai never thought that Yun Chujiu would be so thick-skinned. She actually asked for a reward from him. You fucking cheated me of so many spirit stones a few days ago. And now you still have the nerve to pretend that nothing happened and ask for a reward from me? How shameless. Master Xianyuan immediately said, Master Du, Yun Chujiu has a temperamental personality. Don't bother with her. If she really passes the 9th level, wouldn't you be wasting your money? After all, Heavenly Gate sect has been in a difficult situation recently. Du Gai was so angry that he gritted his teeth. If I don't agree, doesn't it mean that I admit that our Heavenly Gate sect lacks spirit stones? What's the harm in agreeing to this? In any case, it's impossible for her to pass the 9th level. Little girl, if you can really pass the 9th level, I'll reward you with a middle-grade spirit weapon. I'm afraid that you fail on the 1st level. That might be the case. It depends on how lucky I am. Maybe I can climb all the way to the 9th level. So, Fairy Yume, Taoist Priest Jinny, don't you two have to show your appreciation as well? Yun Chujiu looked at Fairy Yume and Taoist Priest Jinny with a smile. The two of them were gloating at Du Gai's misfortune. Who would have thought that this little girl was so greedy? Also, she was really thick-skinned. Chapter 473. Yun Chujiu with 0 points. Fairy Yume and Taoist Jinny had no choice but to agree that as long as Yun Chujiu could pass the 9th level, they would also reward her with a mid-grade spirit weapon. However, their thoughts were the same as Du Gai's. This little girl was just too straightforward, and it was impossible for her to pass the 9th level. With her spiritual power level, she would be lucky if she could pass the 3rd level. Su Yenran looked coldly at the smiling Yun Chujo from afar. A 4th level spirit enhanced cultivator actually dares to participate in the sect competition. She really overestimated herself. Yun Chujo, you'll definitely become the laughingstock this time. And I, Su Yenran, will amaze the entire Qingxian continent. The disciples who participated in the Wuwei Tower trial will receive a jade token. After injecting their spiritual sense into it, their points will be displayed on the stone wall in real time. When it was time, the gate of the Wuwei Tower finally opened. The disciples who participated in the competition swarmed in like a swarm of bees. Only Yun Chujo was wandering leisurely at the back. Seriously, what's the rush? It's not like they will not be able to snatch the items if they entered too late. Everyone will encounter a different scenario. Alright? It's an individual fight, so what's the rush, idiots? Yun Chujo was still in the mood to wave her hands at Du Gai and the others. Sect leaders, I'm going in. Prepare your spirit tools, it'll definitely pass the 9th level. Du Gai snorted coldly. The 9th level, dream on. I bet you won't even pass the 3rd level. Yun Chujo walked into the Wuwei Tower as she calculated in her heart. The last time I entered the Great Void Mystic Realm, I was ejected out. I don't know if he'll be able to do it again this time. Fortunately, Yun Chujo successfully entered the Wuwei Tower and was not ejected. Yun Chujo could not help but tease Furry. Furry, look at the weapon spirit of the Wuwei Tower. It's much smarter than you. It did not eject me. Furry said fawningly, Master, I was blind. How would I know that you're so powerful? If I knew that you were so powerful, I would have helped you take care of that fair scum. What kind of place am I being teleported to? Why is there nothing here? Yun Chujo realized that the place she was in seemed to be an empty house. Other than the pitch-black walls around her, there was nothing else. Master, perhaps a demonic beast will appear later or something. Furry said with some uncertainty. Yun Chujo was initially on guard. Later, she simply asked the rolling pin to be on guard. She then took out a recliner and lay down on it to catch up on her sleep. She actually fell asleep. At that time, the stone wall outside had already begun to show everyone's points. No one had expected that Su Yenran of the Heavenly Gate sect would be ranked first in the points rankings. When everyone asked around, they found out that Su Yenran was actually a new disciple of the Heavenly Gate sect. Moreover, she had already broken through to the first layer of the Spirit Cultivator realm half a month ago. What a monstrous speed of advancement. A well-deserved genius. Other than Su Yenran, there was another person who had also become the focus of everyone's attention. It still depended on how the other rankings fluctuated. There was only one person whose ranking remained unchanged. The name of the 400th place had been firmly occupied by Yun Chujo. 0 points. It stayed at 0 points. Du Gai did not want to laugh at first. After all, he had lost his status as the sect leader of a sect. However, Du Gai really hated Yun Chujo too much. Hence, he said with a smile, Master Xinyuan, this Yun Chujo of Spirit Radiant sect's results are really stable. It seems that I can't give away my spirit weapon. Master Xinyuan smiled faintly. Master Du Gai, as long as Yun Chujo is not ejected from the Wuwei Tower, anything can happen. A 0 now does not mean that she will get a 0 in the future. The trial has just begun, so why are you so anxious? Du Gai sneered. Then let's wait and see. Chapter 474. I will torture you to death as time passed. The ranking on the stone wall kept changing. The only thing that remained unchanged was that Yun Chujo still had 0 points and firmly occupied the last position. However, what was puzzling was that disciples were being eliminated, but Yun Chujo had not been ejected yet. Du Gai roughly estimated the points that were displayed. The Heavenly Gate sect had a slight lead, and the first place was firmly occupied by Su Yenran. He was very proud in his heart. Sect leader Du Gai, is Su Yenran your disciple? She's only at the first level of the Spirit Cultivator realm, right? I didn't expect her to surpass so many disciples at the 6th or 7th level of the Spirit Cultivator realm. Her performance is really amazing, Fairy Yume said in surprise. Generally, disciples above the 8th level of the spirit cultivator realm would choose to cultivate in seclusion and strive for the spirit emperor realm. Therefore, the highest level in this trial was the 7th level of the spirit cultivator realm. Dugai laughed loudly. Then he said with some pride, "This child's mind is more open. Perhaps her luck is also better, so she's lucky enough to be ranked first. In terms of stability, it's still the spirit radiant sex Yun Chujio who is more stable. This result is really too consistent. This is the first time I've seen a disciple who scored 0 points in the Wuwei Tower trial." Master Xinyuan smiled faintly. "Don't make a conclusion too early. Perhaps Yun Chujio will be able to make it to the 9th level after taking advantage of the situation." Du Gai pursed his lips and did not say anything. He thought to himself that he would humiliate Master Xinyuan when the final result was out. Ever since this old fogey obtained the earth fire, he has been extremely proud. At that moment, Yun Chujio was knocking the tower with the rolling pin. It's really strange. It's already been a day, but why isn't there anything? Not a single demonic beast has appeared. Yun Chujio did that for a long time but did not find anything. She sat on the ground dejectedly. "Little flame furry, what do you think is going on? Why do I feel that something isn't right? I've never heard of a disciple encountering such a situation." The rolling pin and Furry were also puzzled. Finally, Furry said, "Master, could it be that the weapon spirit of the Wuwei Tower is more sinister and wants to trap you here? Then wait for everyone else to finish the competition before ejecting you. Doing this would be much worse than me." Yun Chujio blinked her eyes and said, "Furry, what you said makes sense. This damned Wuwei Tower must be doing that. When everyone is done and it ejects me, it'll get 0 fucking points. Wouldn't that simply make people laugh their heads off? Moreover, I've also made a bet with Zhuo Piaoyu, that white lotus flower. If I lose, 1 million spirit stones will be gone. But master, if it really intends to do that, there's no way for us to get out. You've seen it just now. There's no gaps in this building. There's no way for us to get out." Yun Chujio was not discouraged at all. "I don't believe there's no way out. You two check carefully for even the slightest difference. I don't believe there's really no flaw in this room." Yun Chujio carried the rolling pin and the ball of wool for more than 2 hours, but she still could not find a single flaw. Yun Chujio rubbed her chin and thought for a while. Then, she used her spiritual sense to speak to the strange grass in her dantian. "Aren't you able to attract demonic beasts? Draw a few of them over for me. I want to see if this place is connected to other places. Even if it doesn't want to communicate, I want to torture it to death. I want to see if this damned Wuwei Tower weapon spirit still will not let me go," Yun Chujio said. Chapter 475. Were the demonic beasts trying to commit suicide? The leaves of the strange grass in Yun Chujio's dantian were like human fingers. They made waving and hooking motions. The disciples who challenged the stage were all dumbfounded. What was going on? They were originally fighting with the demonic beasts, but the demonic beasts seemed to have gone crazy. Some jumped into the river, some crashed into trees, and some even crashed into rocks. What kind of stimulation did these demonic beasts receive? Did they not want to live anymore? All of them wanted to commit suicide. These disciples had all suffered. When the demonic beasts realized that they could not get out no matter what they did, they began to vent their anger on the disciples of the trial. The demonic beasts seemed to have been injected with stimulants. Their combat strength soared, and they began to crazily attack the disciples of the trial. Thus, Master Xianyuan and the others found that the disciples were bouncing out one after another, as if the tower was spewing out dumplings. Yun Chujio, who was inside Wuwei Tower, did not know about the tragedy that she had caused. She was still muttering, "This is really strange. There's no movement at all. Could it be that this place is really isolated?" Yun Chujio suddenly jumped up and placed her hands on her waist as she began to curse. "Fuck! I've tolerated you for an entire day. If you don't let me out now, I'll start saying nasty things. Let me tell you, I even made the tribulation thunder cry. If you're not convinced, then let's try it. I'll give you an hour to think about it. When the time is up, and if you still don't let me out, don't blame me for scolding you." Time passed bit by bit. An hour passed. Yoon Chujio was about to scold it with her arms akimbo when a white light flashed in front of her eyes and the scene changed. Yoon Chujio was in a valley. The grass was green and the spring water was flowing. It was as beautiful as a picture. An emotionless voice suddenly sounded. The first level of the Wuwei Tower trial has been opened. Trial taker Yoon Chujio. Yoon Chujio pouted. Why didn't you just let me out earlier? Seriously. Strange grass, you can stop now. Although you may have hooked for nothing, you are very obedient and performed well. If I can get high-level herbs later, I will feed them to you. As soon as Yoon Chujio finished her sentence, 2 Tier 4 earth-shattering bears rushed out from the distance and pounced toward Yoon Chujio with bared fangs and claws. Yoon Chujio thought to herself that the others must have reached level 4 or level 5 by now. She had to finish them quickly. Hence, she raised her hand and shot 2 purple lightning bolts at the 2 earth-shattering bears. The 2 earth-shattering bears did not expect that there would be such a perverted fellow participating in the trial. They were directly struck by the 2 lightning bolts and ended up choking on their farts. Yoon Chujio originally wanted to put away the 2 bear corpses, but she did not expect the 2 corpses to disappear into thin air. Yoon Chujio felt that the scene before her eyes was familiar. Was this not similar to the second round of the entrance test of the Spirit Radiance sect? There must be an array formation here. If there was an array formation, then there must be an array core. If there was an array core, then there must be spirit stones. If she could find the array core, then would she not be able to make a small fortune? This Wuwei Tower had been there for so many years, so there might be high-grade spirit stones in the array core. At that moment, she felt a tinge of regret. If she had known this would happen, she would have looked for Old Man Chu to learn about array formations. She was really confident. She decided to learn and do it on the spot. Although she had never learned about array formations before, she had basically read all the books in the library. Thus, she began to recall all the array formation books she read before. She did not expect to know how to set up an array formation, as long as she could find the array core. While Yoon Chujio was learning array formations, there was an earth-shattering bear that jumped out casually. Before she could learn the array formations, she heard an emotionless voice suddenly ring out. The first level of the Wuwei Tower trial has been passed. Trial taker Yoon Chujio will be rewarded with a bottle of spirit gathering pills. 100 points. Chapter 476. Yoon Chujio's points had turned negative at that moment. There was a huge commotion outside the Wuwei Tower. Oh my god! Look, the 6th level is lit up. Someone has reached the 6th level. It has only been a day, and someone has already reached the 6th level. This talent is too heaven-defying. Who is this? Silly. Look at the ranking. That Su Yanran's points has already reached more than 3,000 points. 1,000 points more than the person in second place. It must be her. I heard that Su Yanran is only at the 1st level of the Spirit Cultivator realm, but she's actually more powerful than those at the 7th level of the Spirit Cultivator realm? This is too unbelievable. This Wuwei Tower trial is first based on strength, and second on luck. Maybe she's lucky. Forget it. No matter how lucky she is, she still has to have strength. I think Su Yanran must either be very experienced in actual combat, or very smart. Du Gai was feeling very pleased with himself. He had not taken in the wrong disciple. He had really lived up to his expectations. This Wuwei Tower trial is definitely the best in our Heavenly Gate sect. At that moment, another disciple shouted, "Look! Yoon Chujio finally scored. It's finally not 0. TSK, it's only 100 points. She must just pass the 1st level. What's the big deal?" That's right, she can only reach the 3rd level at most. She'll be ejected in a moment. Du Gai said to Master Xianyuan with a fake smile, "Master Xianyuan, our 2 sects can be said to share the same joy. Su Yanran has reached the 6th level, and Yoon Chujio has finally scored." Master Xianyuan saw that the Heavenly Gate sect's points had soared along with Su Yanran's outstanding performance, and the Spirit Radiance sect's points were obviously lower than the other 3 sections. He was very anxious but still looked indifferent. Same joy, same joy. Du Gai pursed his lips. Just hold on. Let's see if Spirit Radiance sect will be ranked last this time. Let's see if you still like it. Right at that moment, someone suddenly cried out even louder, "Oh my God! What's going on? Why did Yoon Chujia's points become minus 100 points? What the hell?" Everyone thought that they had heard wrong. Then they looked at the stone wall. Sure enough, the 100 points behind Yoon Chujia's name had turned red, which meant that her score was negative. How is this possible? I've never heard of someone getting a negative score. Yeah, the person who failed the trial would just be ejected. Why would there be a negative score? Haha, that Yoon Chujio must be too stupid. The Wuwei Tower can't stand it, so it gave her a negative score. What you said makes sense. It's possible that the Wuwei Tower has never seen someone with such low spiritual power take part in a trial, so they gave her a negative point in a fit of anger. Maybe the Wuwei Tower has an underground level, and Yoon Chujio was thrown into the basement. Haha. The Spirit Radiance sect is really pathetic. They brought such a piece of trash here, and not only did they not, it even got deducted points because of her. This is really hilarious. Some of the disciples of Spirit Radiance sect had already been ejected from the Wuwei Tower. Now that they heard the discussions of the disciples of the other three sects, they simply hated Yoon Chujio to death. No one expects you to earn many points, but you should not make a negative point either. It's really embarrassing. You still dare to make a bet with Xue Piaoyu? Xue Piaoyu's points have already reached more than 1,500. She should have already broken through to the 5th level. You're definitely going to lose. Although Du Gai tried his best to endure, he still laughed out loud. Master Xianyuan, this Yoon Chujio from Spirit Radiance sect is really a clown. Negative points, haha. It's actually negative. Ha ha ha. Chapter 477. Treasure Hunting Expert Master Xianyuan. I'm sorry. I've lost my composure. This Yoon Chujio is really too mischievous. She actually got a negative score. Du Gai laughed so hard that the wrinkles on his head appeared. One could see how pleased he was in his heart. Although Fairy Yumei and Taoist Jinny did not agree with Du Gai, a faint smile appeared on their faces. It was obvious that they were in a good mood. With Yoon Chujio's help, they could easily surpass Spirit Radiance sect's results. Even though Master Xianyuan tried his best to remain calm, this kind of situation was too unbelievable. For tens of thousands of years, he had never heard of anyone who could charge in and get a negative score. Little ancestor, just what kind of wicked thing did you do? At that moment, Yoon Chujio was also dumbfounded. After the sound of the first level being passed, a stone platform appeared in front of Yoon Chujio. On top of it was a bottle of medicinal pills. Yoon Chujio picked it up and sniffed it. It was indeed spirit-gathering pills, but this fellow did not eat it. Firstly, it was useless for her to eat it. The strange grass in her dantian had a refined appetite, and she no longer eats low-level medicinal pills. Secondly, this thing might have existed for tens of thousands of years. She would definitely have diarrhea after eating it. Yoon Chujio was still complaining when a white light flashed in front of her eyes. The scene changed again. This time it was a boundless grassland. Yoon Chujio was looking around when 3 Tier 5 Gale Wolves pounced on her. She was still using lightning to strike the wolves while trying to find the core of the array. This girl was really smart. Just by memorizing a few array books in her mind, she had already figured out the trick. To put it bluntly, the array was just a numerical deduction. For someone like Yoon Chujio who had abnormal mental calculation ability, it was simply a piece of cake. Finally, after a series of calculations and a few failed attempts, Yoon Chujio finally succeeded in finding the core of the array. She took the big kitchen knife and started digging. As she was digging, she said, "This big kitchen knife is a really good tool with many uses. It can be used to cut firewood, cut beehives, and now it can be used to dig soil. It's such a treasure for traveling. The most important thing is that I haven't spent any money. It's something that the big kitchen wanted to throw away." After digging more than 3 feet deep, they finally found a 3-foot diameter array plate. In the middle of the array plate there were 10 shiny stones. Oh my, what kind of spirit stone is this? It looks even more high-grade than a high-grade spirit stone. Yoon Chujio reached out her evil claws and dug out a piece to examine it carefully. "Master, This is a supreme grade spirit stone. I've seen it at Little Wawa's place before. The rolling pin said excitedly. Supreme grade spirit stone? It sounds awesome. It must be even more valuable than a high-grade spirit stone. I'm rich. I'm rich. I won't leave a single piece for this damn Wuwei tower. I'll pack it up and take it with me. If I wasn't afraid of any danger, I would have even dug out the formation plate for it. Today is a good day. I can do whatever I want. Yun Chujo hummed a song as she dug out the supreme grade spirit stone. She was in a great mood. Ha ha ha. I'm practically a treasure hunter. Who else can find spirit stones during a trial? Yun Chujo held the spirit stones in her hand. No matter how she looked at it, she liked it a lot. One high-grade spirit stone is equivalent to 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. This supreme-grade spirit stone is estimated to be equivalent to 1 million low-grade spirit stones. This is 10 million. Ha ha ha, I'm rich. Perhaps the higher the level, the more spirit stones there will be. Just as Yun Chujo was bubbling with beauty, she heard the emotionless voice say with a slight twist, second level of the Wuwei Tower trial passed. Trial taker, Yun Chujo destroyed Wuwei Tower's facilities. The reward will be cancelled. Points previously collected were -200. New accumulated points is -100. Chapter 478. Little Black woke up. Yun Chujo was dumbfounded. What was that? -200 points? She had just passed the first level and obtained 100 points. Now it was -100 points? Fuck. Wouldn't the people outside, especially that old bastard Dugai, be laughing their heads off? Just as Yun Chujo was feeling absolutely dumbfounded, a white light flashed and the scene before her eyes changed again. This time they were in a vast desert. The sun was shining on their heads, and the ground was filled with hot sand. Before Yun Chujo could react, a group of desert scorpions pounced on Yun Chujo aggressively. Damn it. This is definitely Wuwei Tower's weapon spirit taking revenge on me. This is only the third level. Do you have to send a group of demonic beasts to kill me? Damn. There are more than 100 of them. Yun Chujo cursed as she waved her lightning to strike at the scorpions in front of her. Rolling pin turned into a chopping board. Let's kill them while flying in the air. Yun Chujo said fiercely. After the rolling pin turned into a chopping board, it sadly realized that it could not fly. Master, it's probably forbidden to fly here. I can't take off. Fuck. This damn Wuwei Tower is determined to kill me. Fortunately, I have a lot of defensive spiritual weapons, but I can't bear to waste them like this. When I go back this time, I'll definitely refine some awesome poisons. By then, I'll be able to poison my enemies with just a handful of them. The rolling pin was about to cry. They were in such a conundrum, and yet she wanted to talk about what they had and did not have. Thinking about the skills they had to deal with the issue at hand would be much more productive. Damn it. I'll be exhausted by the time I've killed all these scorpions. I won't be able to pass the next stage. I have to think of another way. Yun Chujo was trying to figure out a way as she hacked at them. Just when Yun Chujo was frowning, a proud voice said, Master, leave these bugs to me. Watch how I deal with them. Little Black? You're awake. Yun Chujo quickly released the little black bird from the spirit beast pouch. Not only was the little black bird bigger than before, but its feathers were also darker and brighter. The most peculiar thing was that there was a bulge on its head. It looked strange. I will burn you all to death. How dare you bully my master? Look at this fireball. Little Black opened its mouth, and a fireball the size of a wash basin flew toward the group of scorpions. For some reason, when these scorpions saw Little Black, they looked as if they were imprisoned by someone. They were actually stunned on the spot, and only when the fireball hit their bodies did they scatter and flee in panic. Since it was forbidden to fly in there, Little Black flapped its wings and jumped on the ground a few times. Damn it. If I could fly, I would have killed all of you. Little Black. Well done. Why didn't those scorpions dare to move when they saw you? Yun Chujo asked curiously. Those bugs are instinctively afraid of me. In the past, I was too weak, so they were not afraid of me. Now that I've leveled up, they are naturally afraid of me. Little Black widened its bean-like eyes, showing off. Little Black, what level are you at now? You really are my spiritual pet. I can't tell from your appearance that you have real spiritual power. Yun Chujo asked with a smile. Level 6, Master. How is that? Am I very powerful? After a nap, I directly rose to the early stage of level 6, which is equivalent to the 4th level of the human spirit cultivator realm. Yun Chujo nodded. It seemed that the speed of spiritual pet's cultivation was directly related to its master's cultivation. Although she was now at the 2nd level of spirit cultivator, her spiritual power was about the same as a 4th level of spirit cultivator, so Little Black directly rose to level 6. It was truly a situation where when one benefits so does everyone and vice versa. By the way, Little Black, why is there a bump on your head? What did you bump into? Yun Chujo asked curiously. Chapter 479. Even the formation disc was taken away. Little Black heard Yun Chujo's words and said proudly, "This isn't an injury bump. It's for feathers. The more feathers there are, the more powerful I am." Yun Chujo curiously touched it with her hand. It was just a big bump. Little Black, are you embarrassed to admit that you bumped into something? Ha ha ha. No matter how stupid you are, I will not despise you. Little Black was so angry that its hair stood on end. Master, you're too much. I just woke up, and you're already making me angry, you heartless master. Enough. Yun Chujo was amused. Now that you're up, I will have a lot more fun. Ha ha ha. Let's go. I'll take you to dig for some spirit stones. The damned Wuwei Tower actually dares to trick me. I will even take the array plate this time. The rolling pin weakly reminded, Master, if you take more spirit stones, the Wuwei Tower will give you negative points. Then won't spirit radiance sex results be dragged down because of you? Yun Chujo laughed coldly. I have already considered that. The higher the level of the Wuwei Tower, the more points it should grant. I will just let it deduct as it pleases. The points for clearing the 9th level will definitely be very, very high. When that time comes, even if points were deducted, there would still be a lot left over. Moreover, I've already thought it through. Even if Spirit Radiance Sex results are at the bottom because of me, there would still be another round of trial, right? During the alchemy competition, I'll go up and easily get first place. The rolling pin and Little Black nodded. These three fellows were all equally mystifying in their confidence. They had never considered what would happen if Yun Chujo could not reach the 9th level. What if Yun Chujo could not get first place in the alchemy trial? Besides, there were a total of 4 competitions. Even if you got first place in alchemy, how could you guarantee that your overall result would be first? The three of them began to search for the formation's core. Although the desert scorpions were constantly urged by the weapon spirit, and although they were formation beasts created by the formation, they would still have a natural fear of Little Black, hence, they did not dare to approach Little Black. Yun Chujo found the formation's core as she wished. Not only did she dig out all the spirit stones, she even took out the formation disc and put it into her storage ring. The emotionless voice sounded like it was gnashing its teeth. 3rd level of the Wuwei Tower trial passed. Participant Yun Chujo, if you destroy the Wuwei Tower's facilities, the reward will be cancelled. Your points will be negative 400, and your accumulated points will be negative 500. At that moment, outside the Wuwei Tower, a disciple quickly noticed that Yun Chujo's points had changed. Oh my god! Yun Chujo's points have changed again. It has actually become negative 500. This Yun Chujo is really a weirdo. She's now ranked last. Fuck! What's wrong with Yun Chujo? Why are her points decreasing? Could it be that others are going up but she is going underground? I've never heard that there is a basement under the Wuwei Tower. How strange that she hasn't been ejected yet. What's going on? Anyway, it's not a good thing. Can't you see that the people from the Spirit Radiance sect are about to faint from anger? This is simply bringing a disaster. Not only is it not helpful, it's even counterproductive. The Spirit Radiance sect actually has such a disciple. They're bound to be unlucky for over 8 lifetimes. Haha. Master Xianyuan was also feeling a little apprehensive in his heart. Little ancestor, what kind of heinous thing are you doing? You're not tricking someone, right? Our Spirit Radiance sex results aren't good to begin with. If you do something like this again, we can only be ranked last. Chapter 480. Minus 6,100 points. With Little Black as a helper, Yoon Chujio was like a tiger with wings. She let Little Black be in charge of attacking the demonic beasts. She found the array core and dug out the spiritual stones, and the demonic beasts naturally disappeared. After repeating this, she charged all the way to the 6th floor. At the moment, Yoon Chujio's points were already minus 2,900 points. More than half of the disciples had already been ejected from the Wuwei Tower. Other than Su Yenran, who had already charged to the 7th floor, there was also Yoon Chujio, who had received a negative point. At that moment, Su Yanran's score had already reached more than 6,000 points, 3,000 points more than the person in second place. The smile on Du Gai's face could no longer be concealed. No one had been able to enter the 7th level for thousands of years. Su Yanran really brought him honor. Haha. Haha. Master Xinyuan, the wheel of fortune has really turned. Back then in Spirit Radiance sect, Yoon Chujio defeated Su Yenran. Who would have thought that now, Su Yenran would obtain more than 6,000 points, while Yoon Chujio actually got negative 2,900 points. That's a difference of 9,000 points. I really sympathize with you. She has brought such a big disaster. Du Gai felt that victory was within his grasp. This was arrogance. Su Yenran was able to enter the 7th level, so her aptitude is indeed not bad. However, the trial hasn't ended yet, so it's best not to draw a conclusion on Yoon Chujio too early. Even though Master Zuanyuan's heart was in a knot, they had not lost the battle yet, so his expression was still calm. Haha, that's right. We can't draw a conclusion now, and there might be even more negative points later. Fortunately, there are many people here, or else your Spirit Radiance sex points wouldn't have enough points for her to deduct. Du Gai felt that it was really too satisfying. That smelly girl still had delusions of passing the 9th level. Dream on. Disciples were constantly being ejected from the Wuwei Tower, and after a few hours Su Yenran was also ejected after failing the 7th level. Everyone else had already been ejected from the Wuwei Tower except for Yoon Chujio. At the same time, Yoon Chujio's points had become 6,100 points. Du Gai immediately arranged for people to start counting the points of each sect. The results were 100,300 points for the Heavenly Gate sect, 98,000 points for the Immortal Sword sect, 92,000 points for the Bixiao Palace, and 86,000 points for the Spirit Radiance sect. When the disciples of the Spirit Radiance sect counted the points, they hated Yoon Chujio to death. If they had not deducted Yoon Chujio's 6,100 points, they would have been able to surpass the Bixiao Palace and obtain 3rd place. It was all because of this troublemaker Yoon Chujio. Xue Piaoyu obtained 1,500 points, which was considered to be above average, so she was very proud in her heart. Yoon Chujio, I'll let you show off. You're going to lose this bet for sure. Once you lose your identity as a successor disciple, would senior brother Feng Ming still take a look at you? When that time comes, the people you've offended will start to take revenge on you. Just you wait. You're simply courting death for looking for a fight with me. Su Yenran was now a popular person. From Du Gai to the inner disciples, all of them were full of praise for her. All kinds of praises were constantly heard. Even if she did not pass the 7th level, no one had entered the 7th level of the Wuwei Tower for thousands of years. Su Yenran could definitely be considered a genius. Su Yenran was very proud in her heart. I've finally washed away the shame that Yoon Chujio has brought to me. Yoon Chujio, I didn't expect that not only can't you compare to me, but you've also gotten a negative score. The heavens are really fair. You have finally received your retribution. Yoon Chujio, who was inside the Wuwei Tower, sneezed a few times in succession. Damn it. They must be scolding me outside. Speaking of which, this 7th level is probably very difficult. I don't know what will appear. Chapter 481. Woven silk pajamas with a flash of white light. Yoon Chujio entered the 7th level of the Wuwei Tower. When Yoon Chujio saw the scene clearly, she could not help but laugh out loud. Oh my god, this 7th level is tailored for me. Yoon Chujio was currently deep in a forest. However, she was currently hanging on a huge spider web. A huge level 8 gold-spotted poison spider was staring at her. The gold-spotted poison spider felt that the little girl in front of it was most likely scared out of her wits. Otherwise, why would she be smiling at this moment? Unless she was mentally ill. The gold-spotted poison spider wanted to eat Yun Chujio. But when it got closer, it realized that Yun Chujio was covered in layers of spiritual energy. It spat out poisonous threads and began to corrode the spiritual energy barrier. Master, stop laughing. Although this poisonous spider is also a bug, its spiritual power is higher than mine, so it is not afraid of me. Little Black said to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio giggled. Little Black, don't worry, you don't have to do it. Master, I have a secret weapon. Ha ha ha. Furry, didn't you tell me the last time that you didn't have enough sweaters? Now we have a chance to create more. Master, have you forgotten? These are fake. Even if I extract the silk, it will disappear. Furry pouted and flew out from between his brows. Little Black stared with his pizzazed eyes, dumbfounded. What the hell is this? Master, why do you always pick up trash? Previously he picked up a rolling pin, and now he picked up a ball of yarn. Yun Chujio heard what the ball of yarn said and coughed dryly. Ah, that's true. But let's get rid of it first. Let's finish this quickly so I can go dig for spirit stones. There will definitely be more spirit stones in this layer. Just thinking about it makes me excited, right? The ball of yarn started to extract the silk. The gold-spotted poison spider was dumbfounded. The poisonous threads in its stomach were constantly being pulled out by the ball of yarn. These poisonous threads were sticky and poisonous. Why did nothing happen to that ball of yarn? In the past 1,000 years, no one has ever been able to get past it. Could it be that it had met its nemesis today? The ball of yarn muttered as it twined. Tisteske, the quality of this thread is really good. It's much better than the thread of the mountain drilling dragon. If only this were real. I could knit a set of woven silk pajamas and wear it. The gold-spotted poison spider was about to cry when it saw the ball of yarn twining more and more vigorously. I'm not a freaking formation beast. I'm a real demon beast. If all its poisonous threads were taken away, it would fucking starve to death. What an embarrassing way to go. Sob, it was going to be the first gold-spotted poison spider to starve to death. Just as the ball of yarn was vigorously extracted, Yun Chujio shouted, Furry, stop for a moment. Master, why are you stopping? I'm getting more and more excited. This gold-spotted poison spider has so many poisonous threads. It's so satisfying. The gold-spotted poison spider's tears finally flowed. It had never encountered such a situation before. It was being tortured to death. Furry, I feel that this gold-spotted poison spider in front of me seems to be a real demon beast. This beast is so expressive. In the beginning it was disdainful, but after that it turned into shock, and then it turned into fear and despair. It's simply too realistic, isn't it? The demon beasts we met before were all gritting their teeth. When the gold-spotted poison spider heard Yun Chujio's words, it almost burst into tears. There was a door. This little girl was its last hope. At this moment, the gold-spotted poison spider completely abandoned its dignity as a level 8 demon beast. The two antennae in front of its head kept poking at Yun Chujio. Chapter 482. I raised a white-eyed spider. Little spider, are you trying to beg for mercy? If it is, just point once. If it isn't, point twice. Yun Chujio rolled her eyes and evil thoughts appeared again. The gold-spotted poison spider used its antennae to point once. Yun Chujio continued with a smile. You are not a formation beast, are you a real demon beast? The gold-spotted poison spider used its antennae to point once again. How about this? I can spare you, but you have to tell me the location of the formation core on this level. The higher she went, the harder it was to find the formation core. It would save her a lot of trouble if she had some guidance. The gold-spotted poison spider had no choice but to agree for the sake of its little life. Yun Chujio let Furry lead the gold-spotted poison spider to find the location of the formation core. Qi Ling nearly fainted. I've raised you for over 1,000 years. And you're going to betray me just like that? The gold-spotted poison spider replied in a muffled voice. It's your fault for not coming to save me. Too bad I don't know how to speak. Otherwise, it'll tell the little girl about the formations core on the 8th and 9th levels. It'll infuriate you to death, you heartless old woman. Qiling rolled her eyes. The other party raised an ingrate, but it raised a white-eyed spider. If Yun Chujo knew what the gold-spotted poison spider was thinking, she would definitely trick this stupid spider into leading the way. Unfortunately, she did not understand the language of beasts. After this fellow stored the spiritual stones and array discs in his storage ring, a furious voice was heard saying, "The 7th level of the Wuwei Tower trial has been passed. Trial taker Yun Chujo, the reward is cancelled. The accumulated points are minus 6,400 points. The accumulated points are minus 12,500 points." The crowd outside the Wuwei Tower was in an uproar. Oh my god! The legendary 8th level is within reach. Oh my god! Am I dreaming? Isn't it said that only Patriarch Linghua has entered the 8th level in the past 10,000 years? Could it be that Qingxian continent is going to produce another peerless genius? I'm so excited. I saw the 8th level of the Wuwei Tower light up in my lifetime. After everyone was excited for a while, they realized there was a big problem. Everyone was already ejected. Who exactly had entered the 8th level? At this moment, someone shouted again, "Oh my god! Yun Chujia's score has become minus 12,500 points. Haha, anyway, the Linghua faction is already last. It doesn't matter how many negative points there are." Wait! Isn't Yun Chujio the only person left in the Wuwei Tower? Could it be, heavens, that Yun Chujio is the one who entered the 8th level? How is that possible? She's only at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement Realm. Besides, she's always had negative points. When she reached the 8th level, she should have had more than 10,000 positive points. If it's not Yun Chujio, then who is it? There's no one else. Yun Chujio must be the one on the 8th level. Then what's wrong with the points? Maybe there's something wrong with the stone wall. Yun Chujio should have more than 10,000 points. Forget it. There hasn't been a problem with the stone wall for tens of thousands of years, and it's already a problem with Yun Chujio. Su Yenran was originally full of confidence, but for some reason, she had a bad feeling in her heart. How similar was the situation in the Great Void Mystic Realm the last time? Could it be that the same thing was going to happen again? No, impossible. No matter which level she reached, the points were still the most important. Even if she reached the 9th level, the people of the Linghua sect would still hate her. It was because she had obtained a negative score that she was ranked last. Du Gai had the same thoughts as Su Yenran. Anyway, the final ranking did not depend on which level she reached. Who knew what kind of tricks that wretched girl Yun Chujio had up her sleeves? Chapter 483. A moment of spring is worth 1,000 gold coins. Yun Chujio was already on the 8th level of the Wuwei Tower. Unlike the previous 7 levels, this time, Yun Chujio ended up in an empty room. The voice that was gnashing its teeth was heard again. The 8th level of the Wuwei Tower has been opened. Trial taker Yun Chujio, love, wealth, power or Tao. Choose one. Love. Yun Chujio answered without hesitation. Qi Ling looked at her with disdain. Seems you have pillaged my Wuwei Tower enough, or else why would you choose love? Otherwise, you would definitely choose wealth. The scene in front of Yun Chujio changed. She was actually in a beautifully decorated wedding hall. Yun Chujio curled her lips. This was an illusion test. As a special agent, the most common training was how to stay awake after being hypnotized. I want to see what kind of illusion Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling will create for me. Black thing. I finally got you. Di Biming said happily in a red bridal gown. Yun Chujio thought to herself, this pretty boy in red looks good. It was a different style from Black Chicken Head. The Black Chicken Head was evil and flamboyant, while the pretty boy was a sultry man with a strong sense of abstinence. Why did it look like he was pouncing on her? I wonder if they will be entering the bridal chamber later? I'm looking forward to it. Yun Chujio did not resist. According to the settings of the illusion, she wore a phoenix coronet and a wedding gown and followed this Di Biming to the altar. After sending her into the bridal chamber, Di Biming smiled. Black thing, we are finally married. Come, let's have a toast. Seeing that Yun Chuzhou had no intention of waking up, Qi Ling felt very proud of himself. Little brat. As long as you drink this tea you will fail this round. Yun Chuzhou did not take the wine cup that Di Biming handed to her. Instead, she sat down on the chair, crossed her legs and said casually, "What toast? Pretty boy, take off your clothes. Let me see your beautiful body." Qi Ling's face turned red. She braced herself and continued the illusion. Di Biming laughed. "Black thing, let's drink first. I'll take off my clothes after the toast." Wrong. 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 As the saying goes, every moment of the night is worth 1,000 gold. Quickly take off your clothes. If you don't take off your clothes, it'll help you. Yun Chuzhou jumped down from the chair and was about to strip Di Biming. Yun Chuzhou smiled and said to Di Biming, "Oh right, gigolo, I bought a lot of erotic pictures from the street. Let's learn according to the postures. Hey, where are my erotic pictures? Wuwei Tower. Quickly materialize my erotic pictures. I want to refer to them." Qi Ling could not continue. This stupid girl was not fooled by the illusion at all. She was teasing me. How hateful. Now that the illusion had been broken, the 8th stage was naturally cleared. The 8th level of the Wuwei Tower has been cleared. Participant Yun Chuzhou, the reward has been cancelled. The accumulated points are minus 12,800 points. The accumulated points are minus 25,300 points. Yun Chuzhou was immediately enraged. Fuck. I did not take away your spirit stones again this time. What right do you have to cancel the reward? What right do you have to give me negative points? You old bastard. Get the hell out of here. Stop hiding in the back and pretending to be a ghost. Are you so ugly that you can't let anyone see you? Qi Ling trembled and directly opened the 9th level. The 9th level of the Wuwei Tower? Open, trial taker Yun Chuzhou. Chapter 484. Live long and see outside the Wuwei Tower. Everyone was boiling with excitement. Oh my god. Yun Chuzhou has entered the 9th level. It might not be Yun Chuzhou. Didn't you see that her score has already become minus 25,300 points? You say it isn't Yun Chuzhou, but then who else could it be? Let's not argue anymore. When Yun Chuzhou is finally ejected, the truth will be revealed. While Yun Chuzhou was cursing happily, she was directly teleported to the 9th floor. Yun Chuzhou was a little confused when she saw the scene in front of her. What was the meaning of this? In front of Yun Chuzhou was a stone platform that was about 10 feet square. On the stone platform were thousands of exquisite little jade bottles. Yun Chuzhou thought to herself, could it be that the Wuwei Tower's conscience has been discovered? This was a medicinal pill to supplement her. However, what use did she have for this lousy medicinal pill? She might as well give her some spirit stones. Just as Yun Chuzhou was feeling puzzled, a slightly smug voice said, "The 9th level of the Wuwei Tower's trial has been opened. Trial taker Yun Chuzhou. Each jade bottle contains a medicinal pill. Only one of the medicinal pills in the jade bottle is not poisonous. Choose one and swallow it. You can't open it to see. You can only rely on luck to choose one." Qi Ling was very pleased with herself. She held a jade bottle in her hand. Haha, little fellow, you dare to offend me. I have already taken out the only pill that isn't poisonous. No matter which pill you choose, it will be filled with poison. If you eat it, you will die, and then you will be ejected out of the tower. After hearing Qi Ling's words, Yun Chuzhou couldn't believe her ears. The 9th trial was such an unreliable test. No wonder Patriarch Ling Hua couldn't pass it. What kind of heaven-defying luck did he have to pass it? The odds were almost 1 in 1,000. However, it was too easy for me, right? Yun Chuzhou rolled her eyes and said with suspicion, "You're not lying to me, right? Are all the pills here poisonous?" Nonsense. Why would I take out the ones that aren't poisonous first? Hurry up and choose. Don't dilly-dally. Qi Ling said loudly while feeling a little guilty. Yun Chuzhou pursed her lips. However, it was also reasonable. She had taken out so many spirit stones from the tower, so it was understandable for Qi Ling to resort to dirty tricks. Whether you removed it out or not, you know in your heart. Before I choose, I'll ask you a few questions. The first question is, do I pick one and eat it? If nothing happens to me after I eat it, will I pass this test? That's right. As long as you eat it, you would have passed this stage. No matter which Yoon Chujo chose, it would be filled with poison. If you ate it, you would definitely die. The second question is, if I pass this stage, what rewards and how many points will I get? Don't tell me you will still cancel the rewards and give me negative points? Qi Ling thought, you haven't even passed it yet. And you are already thinking about the rewards and points. Since it's impossible to pass anyway, I'll just tell you. Don't worry, as long as you can pass it, I will give you the rewards for this stage. There are infinite points for this round. As long as you pass it, you will end up first on the ranking board. Then what exactly is the reward for this round? If it isn't good enough, I don't want it. I'll just stay here and not get out. Anyway, since I haven't finished the test for this round, you can't bounce me out. The food in my storage ring is enough for me to live for at least 8 to 10 years. Yoon Chujo said shamelessly. Qi Ling felt that she had seen it all after living for such a long time. Qi Ling had lived for tens of thousands of years, but this was the first time she had met such a shameless human. Yoon Chujo had dug out her disc array, spirit stones, and even blackmailed her little spider. Now she was still acting like a scoundrel. It was really infuriating. Chapter 485. Let me stay unconscious, what's the harm in telling you? If you pass this test, you will get a map and a jade token. As for what map it is, you don't need to know. You won't be able to pass after all. Qi Ling said disdainfully. What? That lousy reward for this test? I'm not going to attempt it then. I haven't slept well for the past 2 days, so I decided to sleep here. Yoon Chujo actually took out a recliner and happily lay on it. She closed her eyes and was ready to fall asleep. Qi Ling was so angry that she was about to hit the wall. Oh my god. Oh my god, who can tell me where this disaster came from? If there was no one in the Wuwei Tower, it would be in a dormant state and would not consume any spirit stones. As long as there were people inside, the spirit stones would be continuously consumed. If this scoundrel really lay here for a year or so, wouldn't it be a huge loss? What do you want me to do before you start choosing? Qi Ling had no choice but to capitulate. What do you want to do? Give me all the rewards from the previous rounds. Then, pay me an extra 100 sparkling top-grade spirit stones. If you don't agree, I will set up camp here. Yoon Chujo was fearless. No matter how powerful Qi Ling was, she still had to follow the rules. As long as Yoon Chujo did not choose a porcelain bottle to eat the pills inside, Qi Ling would not be able to do anything to her. After Yoon Chujo finished speaking, she did not hear any reply for a long time. She was puzzled. Could it be that she had fainted from anger? Could it be that she had died from anger? It would be terrible if she died from anger. If she had known earlier, she would have asked for a few spirit stones less. The weapon spirit that had fainted from anger. She got up and gnashed her teeth as she said, Yoon Chujo, you are absolutely the most shameless person that I have ever seen enter the Wuwei Tower. Alright. I promise you, as long as you can pass this round, I will do as you say. I will give you the rewards from the previous rounds, and then I will pay you 100 supreme grade spirit stones. Hurry up and choose a pill. What if you are lying? Swear on it. Just say that if Yoon Chujo did not die after eating the pills, Yoon Chujo will pass this round, and you will give Yoon Chujo infinite points. In addition to the map and jade token for this round, you will also give Yoon Chujo the rewards from the previous rounds, and 100 supreme grade spirit stones as a bonus. If you don't do as you are told, your soul will be shattered. Qi Ling gritted her teeth and repeated Yoon Chujo's words. Yoon Chujo then put away the recliner and casually picked up a jade bottle. She poured out the pill inside and swallowed it. Qi Ling was so excited that tears welled up in her eyes. She just had to wait a little longer and this shameless brat would have died. Qi Ling could finally have her thrown out. Ha ha ha. Little brat, you want to fight with me? After she went out, what awaited her was all sorts of ridicule. She had already lost 25,300 points. However, after waiting bitterly for a while, Qi Ling did not see any discomfort from Yun Chuzhou. On the contrary, she seemed even more lively. "Hey, this little jade bottle of yours is quite exquisite. I want to keep it as a souvenir." Yun Chuzhou shamelessly put the little jade bottle in her storage ring, and then her eyes stared at the other little jade bottles. "Do you have any strict rules? You have to eat only one pill? Can I eat a few more?" Yun Chuzhou asked with a smile. Qi Ling thought that perhaps the poison pill had been left out for too long, and the medicinal effect was not enough. If she ate a few more, she would definitely be poisoned to death. So she said, "No, you can eat as many pills as you want." An hour later, Qi Ling fainted on the ground again. That damn smelly girl ate all the pills on the stone platform and even packed up the little jade bottles. She should just stay unconscious for a while. Waking up to this is too painful. Chapter 486. The stone platform looked pretty good too. This small jade bottle is so exquisite. If we sell the pills, will it be able to improve the consumer by several grades? It's just that there aren't many of them. Yun Chuzhou held a small jade bottle and said happily, "Hey, did you faint again? Hurry up and fulfill your promise. This lousy place is really boring. I'm going out." Seeing that the spirit didn't respond for a long time, Yun Chuzhou estimated that it was probably angered by her and fainted again. Qi Ling struggled to get up from the ground. She was very sure that she had to send this walking disaster away quickly. Otherwise, the stone platform would be taken away by her. Because this girl was holding a large kitchen knife and gesturing at the stone platform. What material is this stone platform made of? It looks round and shiny. Doesn't seem like a bad idea to chop off a piece to make a stone bed. Yun Chuzhou said as she took the large kitchen knife and was about to start chopping. "Stop. Stop. I'll do it. Just hurry up and leave," said Qi Ling with a trembling voice while she threw a pile of things on the ground. Yun Chuzhou looked at the things on the ground. Other than a sheepskin scroll and a jade token, the most dazzling thing was the 100 supreme-grade spirit stones. The rest were just a few bottles of pills and several middle-grade spirit tools. "Are you kidding me? I heard that our patriarch Ling Hua obtained quite a few good items on the 8th level. Are you going to fucking leave me with these pieces of junk?" Even though Yun Chuzhou said this, her hands were not idle. She kept all the items on the ground into her storage ring, afraid that Qi Ling would take them back. Your Ling Hua sect doesn't have any good items. That Yuan Ling Hua shamelessly chose all 4 items on the 8th level. There are only 4 treasures on the 8th level, and he took them away. What else should I give you? Scram. As Qi Ling thought of that brat from 10,000 years ago, she became even angrier. She directly ejected Yun Chuzhou out of the Wuwei Tower. Outside the Wuwei Tower, everyone's gaze was focused on it. Although Yun Chuzhou's points had now become negative 25,300 points, everyone was still curious. Did Yun Chuzhou make it to the 9th level? And why did she get so many negative points? Quickly catch me. Quickly catch me. Yun Chuzhou screamed as she was ejected from the 9th floor. Just as Master Xianyuan and the others were about to pick Yun Chuzhou up, they saw a large chopping board catch Yun Chuzhou and slowly land. "Little Zhou, are you alright?" Elder Xianyuan and the others surrounded her. Yun Chuzhou giggled. I'm fine. Are you guys alright?" Yun Chuzhou, because of you, our Ling Hua sect ended up in last place. What do you think?" Qi Piampian said softly from the side. The other disciples of the Ling Hua sect also looked at Yun Chuzhou with dissatisfaction. If it weren't for her, they would have gotten 3rd place at least. Zhuo Piaoyu looked at Yun Chuzhou with a cold smile. "Yun Chuzhou, not only will you lose your identity as a successor disciple, but you will also be hated by all the disciples of the Ling Hua sect because of the negative points. You have received your retribution." Yun Chuzhou frowned. "That shouldn't be. That damn Qi Ling said she would make her have infinite points." Yun Chuzhou raised her head and looked at the stone wall. Her name was indeed in last place, and her points were still negative 25,300 points. Yun Chuzhou immediately became angry. She picked up the large kitchen knife and ran to the front of the Wuwei Tower. She placed her hands on her waist and cursed, "You old fart. Didn't you say that after I passed the 9th stage my points would become infinite? Were you fucking lying? Change it now, or I'll chop you to death." Chapter 487. Isn't it awesome? Everyone looked at Yun Chuzhou in a daze as she stomped her feet and cursed outside the Wuwei Tower. There was only one thought in their hearts. Was this person crazy? Tiske, this Yun Chuzhou must have lost face, so she's resorting to such desperate antics. What a weirdo. She even went to threaten the Wuwei Tower. Who does she think she is? Why would the Wuwei Tower feel threatened by her? Besides, she still has the nerve to say that she passed the 9th level? Even Patriarch Ling Hua couldn't pass it. How could she possibly pass it? Exactly, I saw that the 8th and 9th levels light up earlier. I think there's something wrong with the Wuwei Tower. Infinite points, this is simply... Oh my god. The points have really turned into the shape of a small tower. Everyone saw that Yun Chuzhou's points on the stone wall were no longer negative. Instead, they had turned into a shrunken Wuwei pagoda. Then her ranking rose until she finally overtook Su Yanran and placed first. Furthermore, 3 words appeared in front of Patriarch Linghua on the stone wall. Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou heard everyone gasping. She turned her head and saw that her points had really put her in first place. Only then did she viciously say, "At least you know your place. Why didn't you change it earlier? Why did you have to let me scold you? You bastard." Perhaps it was an illusion, but everyone felt that the Wuwei Tower trembled a few times, as if from anger. Su Yanran looked at the words Yun Chuzhou that was firmly pressing down on her head on the stone wall, and her mind went blank. It was Yun Chuzhou again. At the last moment again. Why? Why did Yun Chuzhou always appear and snatch away her victories at the last minute? Yun Chuzhou, you deserve to die. You shouldn't be alive. Yun Chuzhou hopped in front of Master Xianyuan. Master Xianyuan, did you get quite a scare earlier? Did you think that I was holding back our Linghua sect? Are you happy now? Isn't it awesome? Our Linghua sect will be number 1. Ha ha ha. Little Zhou, you did well. Linghua sect is proud of you. Master Xianyuan felt that his old heart was indeed powerful. Even after experiencing such excitement and sorrow, it was still beating so vigorously. Yun Chuzhou swept a glance at the disciples of the Linghua sect who were gossiping just now. At this moment, those people were already embarrassed beyond words. Especially Qi Piaoyu. She wished she could find a hole to hide in. Shui Piaoyu's face was as pale as a sheet. It was over. She had lost. Could it be that she wanted to voluntarily give up her identity as a successor disciple? Yun Chuzhou did not pay attention to her. She was not afraid of settling the score, but she wanted to get her hands on those 3 spirit tools first. Sect leaders, I have passed the 9th stage. Do you want to reward me? Yun Chuzhou looked at Du Gai and the other 2 with a smile. Du Gai's face had turned purple. He had fallen from paradise to the 18th level of hell. The words that he had said before felt like slaps to his own mouth. It was all because of this damn Yun Chuzhou. If it weren't for her, their Heaven's Gate sect would definitely be number 1. Moreover, Su Yanran performed so well initially that she became famous. Their Heaven's Gate sect received both fame and fortune. Now all their glory had been snatched away by this wretched girl. Impossible. How could she possibly pass the 9th round? There must be something wrong with the Wuwei Tower. You. Go and threaten the Wuwei Tower like Yun Chuzhou did. And let the Wuwei Tower change your results to infinity. Du Gai felt that Yun Chuzhou's scolding might have played a role, therefore, he pointed at a male disciple of the Heaven sect, and asked him to scold the Wuwei Tower like Yun Chuzhou. Chapter 488. A slap to send you flying. The male disciple of the Heaven sect braced himself and walked to the front of the Wuwei Tower. Imitating Yun Chuzhou's speech, he held his treasured sword and cursed loudly, "Wuwei Tower, you old fart. You're shameless. Hurry up and turn my points into infinity. Do you hear me? or I'll chop you to death. The crowd saw the Wu-Wei Tower conjure up a large palm, then slapped the male disciple and sending him flying. The crowd only saw a black dot disappear into the horizon. They did not know if the male disciple would still be alive. The Wu-Wei Tower's Qi-Ling was furious. Fuck. It was fine if that little girl scolded it. After all, she had passed the 9th level of the trial. How dare a little piece of trash scold it? It was asking for a beating. This heaven sect was too detestable. This Qi-Ling must teach them a lesson. You want unlimited points? Qi-Ling will turn all your points into a negative number. Let's see if you still want unlimited points. Idiots. This slap from the Wu-Wei Tower was like a hard slap on Du Gai's face. If he had not told that disciple to scold the Wu-Wei Tower, that disciple would not have been sent flying. Sect Master Dugu, why don't you scold him yourself? I reckon that your scolding will be more effective than that person's. Yun Chujo said with a grin. Du Gai almost spat out a mouthful of blood. This smelly girl knows how to go straight for the heart. Just as he was about to say something, he heard some disciples scream. Oh my God! All the disciples of the Heaven sect have had their points turned negative. It's true. That Su Yin-Ran originally had 6,300 points, but now she has become negative 6,300 points. What's going on? Is the Wu-Wei Tower having a stroke? Che. Isn't this simple? Just now, the male disciple of the Heaven sect scolded the Wu-Wei Tower's Qi-Ling. In a fit of anger, Qi-Ling turned all their points into negative points. You're right. Ha ha ha. The Heaven sect made a fool of themselves this time. They were originally in 2nd place but now they're in last place. Ha ha ha. Previously, the Heaven sect was still mocking Yun Chujo. Now they've slapped their own faces. It's so funny. The people of the Heaven sect were all dumbfounded. This day was simply too exciting. From 1st place to 2nd place and now to 4th place. They had even become a huge laughingstock. Some of the elders of the Heavenly Gate sect were somewhat dissatisfied with Du Gai. Some time ago, it was because of his mistake that they compensated the Linghua sect with 1/10 of their spirit stones. Because of his arbitrariness, they lost 10 million low-grade spirit stones to the Linghua sect. Now, because of that stupid decision he made, not only was that disciple's life in danger, but their Heaven's Gate sect had also changed from 2nd place to 4th place. Du Gai was too incompetent as a sect master. Du Gai's vision went dark and he almost fainted. It was over. It was already bad enough that the 1st place had been snatched away by the Linghua sect. Now it had changed from 2nd place to 4th place. What did he mean by overreaching and throwing a stone at his own feet? This was what he meant. Du Gai wished he could find a hole to hide in. Especially when he saw Fairy Yumei and Dao Zhenyi's overjoyed expressions. His intestines turned green with regret. When Du Gai saw the smiling Yun Chujo at the side, he wished he could strangle her to death. If she had not asked him for a reward, how could he have come up with such a stupid idea? So the main culprit was Yun Chujo. Sooner or later he would kill her. You're tuning in to the Li Mei Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.